कुछ तो करो ना कि औरत को कहीं तो किसी जगह पे एक ऐसा चेहरा दो कि उसको देख के इंसान खुश हो। क्योंकि हमारे माशरे में हमारी औरतें कम काम नहीं कर रही हैं, हमारे माशरे में हमारी औरतें हर तरह की पार्टिसिपेशन दे रही हैं। पर जब हमारे मीडिया में ये पोर्ट्रेयल नहीं होता ना, तो फिर खलील रहमान जैसे बंदे पे लिटरली फिर तप ही चढ़ती है।
Assalamu alaikum and hello everybody. Thank you for tuning in once again to the Pakord podcast, episode number 48. For this episode, you need two things: familiarity with Pakistani dramas and a grasp of Urglish, that is Urdu and English. This one is a group discussion all about Pakistani dramas, and it is part one of a two-part discussion. As you can probably tell by now, we are starting to introduce more multi-part series. They tend to do pretty well. We have three very enthusiastic drama watching guests with us for this episode, along with myself, your host, Habib Ahmed. And our guests are very excited to be part of this discussion, to share their viewpoints about Pakistani media, about Mere Paas Tum Ho specifically, and many other things like women's rights, for example. Our main focus was to discuss Mere Paas Tum Ho, the Pakistani drama which actually recently finished as of this recording, but we dive into many other topics as well, and other controversies in our media. So our three guests today are Myrah Shafiq, Manahill Shafiq, and Hamza Farooq. Hamza is a returning guest and first appeared on episode number 41 called Sea View in Miami.
तो मेरा नाम हमजा फारूक है, मायमी में रहता हूँ। पैदा ही वगैरह मायमी में हुआ था। मेरी अम्मी जो है वो कराची की हैं और अब्बा जो है वो लाहौर के हैं, लेकिन काफ़ी क्लोज कनेक्शन रहता है पाकिस्तान से। जब बचपन में मतलब जाते रहते थे हर साल या almost every single year.
Myrah and Manahill are both sisters and both new guests on the podcast. Myrah is living in Germany. Here's a little bit about her.
So my name is Myrah and I'm basically from Pakistan. And then I married my husband and I moved to Germany. I did software engineering and right now I'm working as a web designer and developer. And that's about it, about my life.
Manahill is living in the UK, and here's a little bit about her.
So I'm Manahill, and I am from Pakistan, and I'm doing my master's from Cardiff University, and my master's is in international public relation and global communication. As we're going to discuss, our industry is in desperate need of a PR manager, and I think I can be the one.
Now that we have introduced our three guests, we kick off our conversation with an icebreaker. Have you guys been watching dramas before? We'll go one by one. Or is this the first drama that you really, that really kind of brought you onto the Pakistani drama scene? Because that was the case for me. I mean, I've seen some dramas before in the past, but I didn't really get into them, and same for my wife, until we started hearing more about this one, Mere Paas Tum Ho. And then we kind of started binging a lot of these other shows around the same time. I would say my top 2 or 3 dramas that I've seen so far are definitely this one. I also really liked Cheekh with Sabah Qamar.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
I also really liked Udari. I think that's most people's definitely one of their top 5
So-
or whatever.
What was the first drama that actually kind of got you into watching Pakistani dramas? मतलब एक ड्रामा था कि हाँ यार पाकिस्तानी ड्रामे वाले यही वाला था। ये मेरे
हाँ,
मेरे
यही
पास तुम हो, मेरे पास तुम हो।
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Because लोग इसके बारे में बातें कर रहे थे, and then my wife and I, we were both just curious. We're like, okay, let's give this a shot. And then suddenly we started binging all of them,
Right.
a lot of them, But this
Right.
one's the one that kind of started it for us.
अच्छा.
Yeah. So now you, Hamza, you can go.
Yeah, for me, I mean, मैं बचपन से देखते हुए आ रहा हूँ। अनकही देखा था मैंने, बचपन में अनकही देखता था मैं, और काफी वो जो काफी पुराने ड्रामे नहीं होते, ओल्ड स्कूल ड्रामे जो 80s में आते थे,
हाँ।
90s वगैरह में पीटीवी पे जो चलते थे, अल्फा ब्रावो चार्ली भी है, अनकही वगैरह, तो उनसे काफी मतलब शौक रहता पाकिस्तानी ड्रामा का। लेकिन बीच में मैंने शायद इतना ही देखा, I didn't watch it as much in the like like for like 5-10 years maybe. I didn't watch it as much, but I would keep track as to what dramas were actually popular. And my mom would watch on TV, so I would just cross by and just ask her what कौन सा drama देखनी है, फिर वो बताती है कि ये drama चल रहा है, ये वो चल रहा है. But no drama was actually as popular, I would say, as Humsafar or as Mere Paas Tum Ho as this one, because the ones that got so much craze, that makes even the casual people even kind of just want to get into it. So, but yeah, I mean, I started watching dramas like with Pakistani dramas when I was young. So.
For me, the first drama that I started watching was like the first drama that I would really say that like was that जिसने मेरी जिंदगी घुमा दी थी, वो अल्फा ब्रावो चार्ली था. उसके बाद obviously we had धुआं, और वो बचपन में आते थे ना छोटे छोटे ड्रामे, वो ड्रामे वाले ड्रामे भी होते थे, like अल्फा ब्रावो चार्ली, धुआं हो गया, 50-50 हो गया, ये वाले ड्रामे थे जो अच्छे लगते थे, बचपन से देखते थे. Like if you talk about like बड़े होके कौन सा ड्रामा अच्छा लगना शुरू हो गया, तो लिटरली मैंने बीच में पाकिस्तानी ड्रामे देखना छोड़ दिए थे, because I could not tolerate कि उसके अंदर होता क्या रहता है, like because for me it was all the same. एक ही story बार बार repeat होती थी. But then Hamsafar and then Manmail and Udari, they came, and that was like, I think that was revolution. और उसके बाद से it's again going downhill for me.
Yeah, so you think that was kind of like the climax, like
Yeah.
the peak.
The peak, हम लोग like पहुंच गए थे वहां पे. We had reached nirvana, and then उसके बाद से we were like, अच्छा अब क्या करें, चलो वापस उसी स्टोरी पे आ जाते हैं. शादी शादी शादी. I think that was like, मेरे लिए वो 3 ड्रामे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट थे मेरी जिंदगी के. मैं बहुत खुश थी उन ड्रामास को देख के.
और ज्यादातर हमारे ड्रामे जो होते हैं ना, वो ज्यादातर उनकी शादी के मामले में होते हैं कि हाँ उस बहू आ गई है, उस सास से झगड़ा है, और ये है वो है. I mean, it's like it always revolves around that. So I mean, and in this situation, this drama too, it revolved around shadi as well, about like a broken marriage. But it was a little different because there was no, उसमें कोई सास नहीं थी, उसमें मतलब बस मियाँ बीवी के मतलब जो इंटरनल मसले थे वो सामने आ रहे थे. But I think it's always interesting because we kind of always focus on shadi and how big of a impact that has as us, and even in our culture too. It's a very big thing. So which is kind of why a lot of these dramas focus on shadi and all that as well.
Yeah.
They don't really go outside. They don't really think. I mean, our directors don't really think outside the box about what to create other than that, because I think हमारी आवाम जो है वो इन्हीं चीज़ों से खुश है. मतलब हमारी आवाम जो है उन्हीं चीज़ों से खुश हो जाती है कि हाँ बस वो सास बहू के झगड़े हैं और ये और है वो और है, तो उसी चीज़ से खुश हो जाते हैं.
यही मसला है ना. मैं भी यही, this used to really frustrate me too. कि हम क्यों नहीं, why can't we make stuff like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, or something different, a little bit more adventurous, a little bit more daring, outside of the house. लेकिन like you kind of mentioned, market है ही, market खुश है. The market is pretty happy the way the dramas are going right now. And then of course they have to kind of cater more towards a household audience, because that's kind of still the culture.
ये भी एक अच्छा point है कि हमारा जो culture है is very collectivistic, right? So as compared to Western culture, which is very individualistic. So you always have to make a show that's very family oriented, ताकि सब सारी जो family है वो सारे देखें मिलके, और ताकि हर चीज जो है वो मतलब वो family friendly हो. लेकिन इस ड्रामा में भी कुछ चीजें थी जो काफी इतनी family
Yeah, you
friendly
could
नहीं
argue.
थी.
You could argue.
इस ड्रामा पे this drama was not family friendly at all. So
At all.
I would not recommend my kids to watch this drama at all until they're like probably like 15 or 14, 15 years old. Maybe they can actually understand it. But the younger age, no. This is a topic थोड़ा bold है. It's a very bold topic as to what they actually brought up. So especially in regards to our culture, there was a lot of controversial things. I would say the one controversial thing that probably was that अच्छा उसने उससे तलाक ले ली दानिश से. महविश ने तलाक ले ली दानिश से, लेकिन वो शवार के साथ बगैर निकाह किए हुए रह रही.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Like, that was a kind of like, oh my God. That was like, if as a Pakistani, you're like,
it's unrealistic in
WTF.
Pakistan. It cannot happen in Pakistan. You have neighbors, you have people in office, you have a lot of people. She's going outside, she's getting dressed, buying things. Everybody knows who's paying for it. How they know that she's living with him in a live-in relationship and not say anything? It was unrealistic also, but at the same time, as you said, it was very bold. And I kind of am also proud about it, that, okay, at least they're taking a little bold steps, but that too, they're औरत के कंधे पे रख के बंदूक चला रहे हैं. If they want to take up a bold topic, they also want people to blame the woman for it.
Actually, let's go ahead and answer that first question, Myrah. आपकी बारी नहीं मिली थी आपको. So yeah, go ahead and answer that, and then we'll continue.
Yeah, so Pakistani dramas I watched since I was a kid. I think when I was young, tab to nahi bilkul bhi, but when I came in my college or something, then I started watching the dramas. Usse pehle padhai and parents and everything, not allowed, study, baitho, cartoon dekho, all that things going around you, and you play a lot. You don't watch TV at that age. But I think for me, it also started with Alpha Bravo Charlie. That is still love for me. It's in bad quality in YouTube, but I would still sit and watch the drama non-stop. Right. And my husband is not, he's half Pakistani now, so he's a German, he doesn't know Urdu also. So I begged him to watch this drama. And I said, like, my father is from army. This is my culture. Please look at this. Ek dafa dekho isko. But he says it's in such a bad quality, I cannot understand. But that is for me just love. And then Sunhere Din, it's also one of the best dramas for me. And then uske baad Family Front is this is tarah ki 50-50 Jat Bond and Jat and Bond. So these are the dramas. But I also felt that at that time ye dramas jo the inke liye the people especially used to come home, sit and watch this drama. कि Saturday को लगना है तो हम देखेंगे बैठ के ना, something like that. And after ages, I think कि मेरे पास तुम हो के लिए, people actually bought 800 का ticket and went to the cinema to watch the final episode. Even though some people will say it's a bad ending, but they bought the ticket and they watched it.
It worked.
They marketed it so well. And I also, one of my favorite dramas is Sehrizad. I love that drama. It's so, it is also an eye-opener for a lot of people, like it is for me. Like I don't go on and buy a lot of stuff because मुझे हमेशा वो dialogue याद आता है कि ये इसराफ है चीज़ों का, ज़्यादा चीज़ें खरीदना, like ज़्यादा चीज़ें नहीं खरीदनी, ये इसराफ है, ये है. So I feel like these dramas which makes you stick to the reality is also very important. So yeah, I have a lot of dramas. Yaqeen Ka Safar, Udari, as you said. Manahill, I did not like it at all. I'm sorry. I hated that she's always crying. I'm like, stop crying. And Hiramani is also, I'm not a big fan. She's always crying. And my husband is like, why are you watching this? She's always crying. I'm like, I hate her. She's crying. मेरे घर में मनहूसियत आ गई इसकी वजह से.
अच्छा, मैंने खास तौर पर नोट किया कि एयर वाई के जो ड्रामास होते हैं ना, वो इतने कुछ चलते नहीं है. हम टीवी के ज्यादा चलते रहते हैं, क्योंकि हम सब भी हम टीवी पे आया हुआ था. और जो सारे जितने भी सारे बड़े ड्रामे थे, मेरे ख्याल से एक बीच में आया था, उसका नाम भूल रहा हूँ मैं, क्या नाम था, जिसमें सनम सईद थी और सारा शरोज थी. इस वक्त दिमाग से निकल गया. मताए जान भी एक था जो बीच में हम सफर में जो आया था, हम टीवी पे जिंदगी गुजारे. हाँ, वो ड्रामा था. तो ज्यादातर ये ड्रामा जो हम टीवी पे आता है, लेकिन एयरवाई ने बहुत अरसे के बाद ना कोई अच्छा सा ड्रामा बनाया होगा जो बंदा देखता ही रह जाए. ठीक है ना, बहुत अरसे के बाद. जो क्योंकि ज्यादातर ड्रामे जो थे, वो ज्यादातर फेमस ड्रामे जो थे, वो ज्यादातर हम टीवी पे आते. हम टीवी वाज एक्चुअली नोन फॉर द ड्रामास. ARY and Geo dramas, they're not really that well known, you know. वो बस आ रहे हैं, वो TV पे आ रहे हैं. They're just there for variety, you know.
But you know, एक subtle चीज जो मैंने गौर की है ना, is my wife, she actually prefers ARY. और उसकी वजह ये है कि YouTube पे जो वीडियोस जो डालते हैं ना ARY और हम TV वाले और Geo News,
best quality.
ARY actually, well, the quality is one thing, but then also ARY ने subtitles नीचे लिखे होते हैं, captions in English. And my wife, she understands Urdu, लेकिन इतनी अच्छी उसको समझ नहीं आती, तो she really appreciates those subtitles, and that makes a big difference. खैर, अब तो ARY ने पता नहीं क्यों अमेरिका में ब्लॉक कर दिए all their videos. They took them off for us, at least in the US, so we can't watch any of their dramas anymore.
The reason why they actually blocked it was because they wanted to get all the ratings on ARY, the USA channel. That's why they actually blocked it. So if you get ARY through Dish Network, which is the satellite provider here, then you probably they wanted you to watch it there so they can get more ratings. They want to get more ratings on there. So it kind of made some more sense. लेकिन उसकी भी मैंने कोई जुगाड़ निकाली थी, वो Daily Motion पे आ रहा था, देखते आराम से देख लिया था.
हाँ, Daily Motion पे लोग upload कर रहे हैं. That's what we resorted to as well, but it makes it really difficult.
Yeah, and ARY got a little pagal also after making this Mere Paas Tum Ho. The CEO actually said कि Mere Paas Tum Ho is exactly like Game of Thrones. उसकी popularity जो है.
हाँ, ये इसने statement दी थी कि it's bigger than Game of Thrones.
Yeah, those statistics were so skewed. I was like, how is this even possible? What are you saying? Please stop.
No, I read it. I actually thought that it's true because Mango Buzz or this kind of website, they actually said that IMDb पे Mere Paas Tum Ho is rated higher than Game of Thrones, and I actually
It is.
It's true. It is.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I think I read that somewhere too, and I even looked it up. लेकिन उसमें high rating है.
Yeah, keep in mind the sample size too makes a big difference, right? आप कहीं dramas को देख सकते हैं, like probably a lot of niche shows have higher ratings than Game of Thrones or a lot of other shows on IMDb. लेकिन आप वो भी देखें कि रेटिंग्स कितने लोगों ने डाली हैं, right? अगर आप for example कोई प्रोडक्ट को देख रहे हैं इंटरनेट पे and there's one product that has 5 stars लेकिन एक ही बंदे ने रिव्यू डाला है, और दूसरे प्रोडक्ट के पास 4.5 stars है लेकिन 20 लोगों ने रिव्यू डाला है, right? I would trust the second product a little bit more just because it went through a lot more reviews. So you have to look at it a little bit more critically. But yeah, I mean, point taken, it's still a good show, obviously. But they did try to hype it up a lot. ARY, I think, got a little complacent or a little overconfident कि यार हम तो बहुत ही बड़े निकल गए हैं.
बहुत बड़े निकल गए हैं. एक ड्रामा निकल गया, बहुत बड़े निकल गए.
रीजन ब्लॉक कर देते हैं ये. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ending में अल्लाह ने उनको दिखा दिया. जो उन्होंने एंडिंग किया ना, I was like ये दिखाना था.
I think more or less उन्होंने अपनी जब रेटिंग्स बढ़ाने की ज़्यादा कोशिश की तो उसका बहुत ज़्यादा पार्ट जो था वो खलीलुर रहमान, the writer himself, was like the biggest, I think, driving force of those ratings, because people after hearing him out wanted to see कि भाई इस बंदे ने ऐसा क्या प्रोड्यूस कर दिया है. So I think more or less लोग उसको study as a study भी क्या नाम है देखना शुरू हो गए थे, because honestly saying मैंने तीसरे चौथे एपिसोड के बाद उसे छोड़ देना था. But then Khalilur Rahman said something and then I started watching it again because I wanted to know कि भाई ये बंदा अगर ये नेशनल टेलीविजन पे बैठ के कुछ ऐसा बोल सकता है या जो भी इसके कंट्रोवर्शियल स्टेटमेंट्स हैं, तो इवेंचुअली ड्रामा में क्या ऐसे पोर्ट्रे कर रहा है, इज इट लाइक following whatever he is saying or is it like different? So I think it was more Oscar driving force. The writer himself was like a bigger force as well.
Maybe, yeah. I didn't. So I didn't even get into it until later on. मेरे ख्याल में 15वें या 16वें episode पे when it was around that point in time, that's when we started watching it, and we were having a really hard time getting into it actually, up until like the 7th episode or so.
I think we people who were living abroad, हमसे थोड़ा देर तक पहुंचे.
हाँ मैं भी काफी देर तक पहुंचा था. मैंने भी देखना शुरू किया जब 10वीं एपिसोड.
Exactly. I've started watching on the 10th episode and I told my sister, I said, please इसे देखो, बहुत अच्छा ड्रामा.
ऊपर से ये कि शुरू में थोड़ा काफी ड्रैग किया था उन्होंने.
Yeah, after the ending, but starting, please, hello Mehwish, how pretty she is. I would watch any drama for her, especially in her black sari, dude. Please.
Oh yeah, the black sari, the famous black sari.
the famous
वो
one.
भी उसने बेचारी ने चीर दी थी.
Yeah, exactly. That's when she saw him at the airport, right?
साड़ी नहीं चीरी थी, शर्ट.
No, it was a shirt that उसने मुझसे पूछे, मैंने बहुत ध्यान से देखा. शर्ट फाड़ी थी, साड़ी
शर्ट फाड़ी थी.
साड़ी was like killer. मैंने जब उसको साड़ी में देखा, like इसके लिए ड्रामा देखूंगी मैं.
Yeah, see, that's another controversial thing. Now that we brought that up, that's another controversial thing. She went to Islamabad with him, and they were staying in the same hotel.
Yes.
That does not happen. That does not happen in our culture, by the way. So I don't know why they were actually showing that. It cannot happen. It is impossible. Yeah. It is impossible. I mean, I'm not sure.
But it does
Actually,
happen.
nowadays in Pakistan, everything is very much possible.
Yes.
Yeah, everything happens in Pakistan. You can just sit and watch. Like if you go to Islamabad, you just have to sit. Like we live there. We just have to sit and just observe. You just have to have that eye. Everything's happening in front of you. But chup ke karte hai.
You should be your nosy neighbor.
Yeah, सुनने में तो yeah, I've heard a lot actually. So again, I haven't been to Pakistan in a while, right? तो मेरी वहाँ पे family भी obviously very conservative किस्म की है, तो I don't get to see these things or hear about these things much. Lekin just through Discord in general and just kind of the community that we've built, right? I've heard a lot of stories कि हाँ ऐसी चीजें होती हैं पाकिस्तान में, which I can believe, right? Obviously ज़माना बदल रहा है, लोग बदल रहे हैं, मगर शादीशुदाओं के बीच में ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है, right?
Yeah, that's what my point was. Like शादीशुदा के बीच में होना
That's
ये
still
काफी
a
मुश्किल
little
है.
hard to believe. Lekin I'm sure there might be one or two real stories out there. Didn't like Humayun Saeed say that this is based on a true story? He said something like that.
I don't think it's based on a true story. No, I don't.
Humayun Saeed said that in I was just reading, kind of catching up on.
I was listening to Khalilur Rahman interview, and the interviewer asked that is it based on a true story? He said, "Allah na kare, किसी के साथ ऐसा हो."
Acha.
I doubt it, but it just shows, like, even though a lot of this is why it was so controversial. She went to Islamabad with them, and apparently they stayed at the same hotel. And you know, you're showing these things, even if it happens in Pakistan, which Pakistan में बहुत चीजें होती हैं, मतलब काफी सब कुछ होता है पाकिस्तान में, like जैसे Manahill और Myrah ने कहा अभी, सब कुछ होता है, like, but the fact that you show them on TV and you're showing such bold things on TV for a Pakistani audience, that's I mean, that's a little too overboard, you know, I mean, people watch this drama with their families. लोग family के साथ देखते हैं, so you have to be a little careful as to what you portray, you know. So it's just kind of, you know, that's the most thing that's controversial. The other thing probably was that they showed Shivar drinking alcohol, which on the bottom they wrote alcohol is prohibited, which is what they should, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, they do that with every scene.
They do that with every single scene. So which is true, because the elite people in Pakistan do drink. That's very common, and that's obviously a very everyone's aware of that the elite people do drink. And now मेरा सवाल ये होगा उनको मिलती कहाँ से? That's always something I've wondered as to where they actually get it from.
There are dealers.
There are places. There are so many places.
I'm so sorry if we are so much informed about all the wrong stuff.
नहीं अच्छा है.
We are brought up there. We know everything. Sorry.
Yeah, we need this information. It's good. होना चाहिए. वैसे, you know, I'm actually glad कि ये drama बना है. Like, I think Hamza, you made a good point कि obviously ये चीजें वैसे तो accepted नहीं होती हमारी society में. You know, they should be shown through a filter or something. It was quite bold of them to show a lot of this stuff, like the cheating, the hotel rooms, those types of things.
Yeah, but they should write on the top, na PG plus 15 or 18. I don't know.
वो yeah.
I have a point. So like dramas such as Cheek, somebody mentioned, and
Huh.
dramas like Udari, Cheek, and abhi ye jo recently I think Ruswai naam hai uska. And like
Yeah.
these dramas also like tackle issues which are very grave in their nature, such as abuses in terms of domestic and otherwise. एंड तो उनमें भी ये तो दिखाया तो जाता है, जैसे उडारी में एक बहुत लाइक इट वाज अ ग्रिपिंग सीन वेयर जहाँ पे उसकी चीखें सुनाई देती हैं, तो दिखाया तो जाता है
Yeah,
ना.
that was a very intense moment. Yeah.
But did you notice that in that drama also they balanced it? They didn't actually only talked about the abuse of the girl. They balanced it with the other stories also.
Yeah.
Because it can be a little too heavy for the audience.
No, what I'm trying to say is that like if they wouldn't show them flying to Islamabad and then her suddenly coming out in a different dress and then showing him drinking and everything else, अगर वो नहीं दिखाएंगे तो फिर पोर्ट्रे कैसे होगा कि उन दोनों का कैरेक्टर कैसा है या वो किस लिमिट तक जा चुके हैं या अभी यहाँ पे हो क्या रहा है, लाइक अगर वो इस तरह ढके छुपे अल्फाज में भी नहीं दिखाएंगे
Yeah.
तो बिकॉज
हाँ, सही
बाकी
सही बात है.
ड्रामाज में भी दिखाते तो हैं. एंड आई थिंक दिस लाइक यू सेड इट ओपन्स way for like a conversation. आपको at least समझ तो आती है ना कि हो क्या रहा है. As an audience, I think it was something that I wouldn't mind seeing, because obviously like let's not be foolish. हो रहा है ये हर जगह, और हम ये कि अगर महविश के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से ना भी देखें तो हम मर्द के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से भी तो देख सकते हैं, होता तो है, कर तो रहे हैं सारे, तो इसमें छुपा हुआ क्या है आज.
हाँ, अच्छा पॉइंट है.
And secondly, also, I think there's another drama coming. I don't know, it's Hum or ARY, Jhooti, Ikra Aziz ka.
Yes, I've heard of
Usme
it. Yeah.
they have also shown Ikra Aziz going with her friend outside, wearing totally different clothes and drinking alcohol and coming back to the house and saying, "Meri tabiyat kharab hai." So it happens. So I think it also prepares the parents in a way that they should know what is outside. Because I believe
Yeah.
responsibility सबकी होती है, बच्चों की भी होती है, parents की भी होती है, but it also prepares them. They should know there are a lot of people, they don't know what's happening outside. They still live in their own cocoon.
Yeah, Judy had a very dramatic trailer. We saw it actually. Usme dikhaya hua she was just kind of improvising, I guess, in front of the mirror. So she was just acting like, "Main kya bardasht karun?" Right, and then at the end she was just lying.
Yeah,
so that was pretty
she's the rebel. She's just portrayed कि सारी जो एक बुरी बातें होती है ना वो सब उसके अंदर है. Yeah, in the end it will show कि उसको उसकी माँ की बदवा लग गई and उसको सबक हासिल हो गया, something like that, because औरत को ही सारे सबक हासिल होने होते हैं end में और मर्द को उसकी मोहब्बत मिल जाती है.
Do you think that this is like a way of like maybe Mere Paas Tum Ho has opened a new door, a new niche for Pakistani dramas के अब औरतों को negative light में portray किया जाए क्योंकि मर्द को तो करते रहे हैं कितने time से. I personally think this is something that's
I
going to
believe
be
that
like
Mere
the new
Paas Tum
thing.
Ho has positives also to it. Na? Like मुझे the dialogues that they had. Living in Germany, I never actually appreciated my literature very much. Now, because in Pakistan, because of colonialism and everything, we had this influence के English and English. Now we had to speak English. और जो नहीं बोलता है, तो you're like, oh, इसको English नहीं आती, पेंडू and something. It was me. I will not lie. It was me. But after coming to Germany, I realized कि I forget words in English so many times because in my mind I'm talking in German. So Vergleich, oh man, Vergleich habe ich vergessen. So in comparison to German, Urdu is a very nice language. और मुझे like I really realized कि I didn't pay so much attention to my own language, and the way the literature is brought in this drama, the dialogues and everything. Even though English उसमें भी है, but a little bit that they showed through थोड़ी बहुत Urdu, whatever they used, I really liked that. I felt like that, okay, there's a little connection between me and the drama, a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's true. I was actually going to collect some of my favorite dialogues. Because as I was watching this drama, right, I was taking notes for some reason on the side. I remember, especially from episode 1 through 8, there were some really good ones actually. Most of them come from Humayun Saeed.
Yeah,
and I kind of want to analyze his character. उसका character थोड़ा analyze करो, okay? वो थोड़ा सा मासूम सा है. He's very honest.
Danish जैसे लोग, to find a person like Danish who knows that his wife went behind his back to Islamabad. चलो बाकी सब side पे करो, but she went and she came back and he's standing in front of her on the airport and she came back and he took her to the house and he says कि तुमने गुनाह किया है but मैंने उसे गुनाह कहा नहीं है. I don't understand. इस तरह के मर्द शायद बाहर मिल जाए, but पाकिस्तान में I am sorry.
Yeah, most are not going to be like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to believe that.
It's true. Yeah, उसको
Yeah.
बहुत ही भोला सा, बहुत ही मासूम दिखाया है,
बहुत ही
to the
मासूम सा
point of
दिखाया है।
frustration, right? It just frustrates you, like ये कुछ कर क्यों नहीं रहा? You know, why isn't he speaking up more early on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Isliye, I think because of this, because Danish was not saying anything at all to her when he said that do टके वाला dialogue ना, everybody got finally इसने कुछ बोला है. Finally, thank God.
and when you जब वो बाद में जाके वो थोड़ा strong होता है ना, if he did not go through that, he would not
Yeah.
have been able to become what he did later on. Because sometimes you need to go through something in order to become what you need to become. And you know, when he goes to Shawar's office, उसको थप्पड़ मारता है, मजा ही आ जाता है कसम से. Like literally, that was like literally when
It
I
was
just stood up.
very badly directed, but I loved it. I was like, thank God इसने कुछ किया तो है रोने के अलावा.
Yeah, exactly.
पूरे ड्रामे में एक ही एक्शन सीन था, and even that, like they just, I mean, it was very satisfying, but they could have done that one a bit better. It looked like a little, you could tell they were kind of play fighting.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Danish could, Danish could actually be a role model for a lot of boys in Pakistan right now. A lot of husbands and everything. If you notice, like I noticed that because my entire friend circle and families in Pakistan, divorce rate in Pakistan is getting very high since last 5 years or so. So Danish can also be a role model, ना कि बंदा बर्दाश्त भी करता है. But I would not say that Mehwish should be a role model, but I would also not say that Mehwish should be a ibrat ka nishan for somebody, because there are a lot of other people doing worse than her and they are successfully going to Medina and Makkah and doing Hajj and everything, na? So unko kuch nahi hota hai. So they even go to other places and stuff like that. But Danish can be a role model.
Definitely. बिल्कुल.
Danish, I
बिल्कुल सही बात
personally think like शुरू में बड़ा, I think people stayed for him all through the time. Nobody was rooting for anybody. He was like the character everybody wanted to see. Everybody was like, this is the guy. He's masoom. इसके साथ ज्यादती हो रही है. इसको समझ नहीं आ रहा बेचारा ये वो. And I think women mostly, wanted him in their lives. कि यार नहीं ये मिल जाता तो कितना अच्छा होता. ये होता ना.
I don't want ऐसा dance करने वाला.
I loved his dance, okay? That was amazing. He literally broke the floor.
Yeah, he उसने बहुत ज़्यादा
Literally.
serious ले लिया था.
Like, but I loved when he said के बोला ना कि उससे गलती हो गई है, उसे माफ कर, लेकिन like he was still ready to accept everything when he said बोला ना उससे गलती हो गई. When Shawar showed him everything, and I was like,
Yeah,
wow,
exactly.
man,
I was so proud of him. I was like, what?
He said that and I was like, you did not. And it was amazing. Like, वो बहुत fit moment था मेरे लिए. I think उस 2 टके वाले dialogue and सबकी like इतनी वो हो चुकी थी चर्चा के मेरे लिए वो moment इतना stand out कर गया कि I was like, wow, he's still ready to accept her. और फिर उसके बाद वो अपनी सालगिरह भी मनाता है शादी की उसके साथ.
Yeah, I mean that's that scene.
Yeah, I think he was more in denial.
Yeah, he was more in denial.
He was more in
Yeah.
denial. Like he was just like not ready to accept it. कि ये
Accept
मेरे
it.
साथ ऐसा हो सकता है. I think, it wasn't more like
Yeah,
maybe it was. I don't know. You could take it both ways. Like you could think like he's ready to accept her even despite her mistake. लेकिन मेरे ख्याल में वो अभी तक इस चीज को प्रोसेस कर रहा था कि ये मेरे साथ हो क्या रहा है, right? And I found it kind of interesting कि उसने उस वक्त उसको थप्पड़ नहीं मारा शहवार को जब उसने ये
Yeah.
videos और all the pictures वगैरह दिखाई.
That's one. If I was him, that's when I would have slapped him, bro. like literally, come on, like you just come into my house and just do that, bro.
Yeah.
Like come on, like God.
Right.
It's just like that whole scene was just very like draining. बहुत draining scene था कि वो उसके घर में आ रहा है और उसको लेके जा रहा है, फिर वो सालगिरह भी मना रहे हैं और I mean it was just like you kind of felt bad for him, for Danish as well, because you obviously, I mean, everyone did feel bad for him. But at the end of the day, it was वो जो बातें करते थे महवेश वगैरह और दानिश वगैरह कि तुम तो मुझे ख्वाब दिखाते थे कि हम ये होगा ये वो होगा. But at the end of the day, he did not deliver on that. So it's kind of like you kind of raise someone's expectations and you didn't meet those expectations. So.
But how can he not know that she is a little materialistic? इसकी पसंद की शादी थी ना?
Exactly. Yeah.
तो
you're
उसने
right.
भी मटेरियली देख के शादी की थी. उसने कौन सा बहन का इखलाक देखा था? Comic Fire Salan.
Yeah.
So गलती तो इसकी भी अपनी है ना. But I would not say गलती है, but बेचारे की किस्मत ऐसी थी. I feel bad for him, but at the same time, if you are getting in a love marriage kind of situation, you know how a person is. Arranged marriage में तो चलो झटका बाद में लगता है ना. Arranged marriage में तो पता होता है. I don't believe कि love marriage में बंदे को ना पता हो. Even though if they are studying in the university, 4 साल,
हाँ, तो फिर तो काफ़ी जान पहचान होती है ना बंदे के बीच पे
हाँ।
कि दोनों दोनों बंदों के बीच पे क्या किस तरह का बंदा है, किस तरह की बंदी है, तो आपको थोड़ा बहुत जान पहचान होती है इस चीज़ के मामले में। पर एट द एंड आई मीन द ताली जो है वो दोनों हाथों से बजती है, सो आई थिंक इट काइंड ऑफ वाज़ हिज फॉल्ट बिकॉज़ ही डिडंट काइंड ऑफ डिलीवर टू व्हाट शी वाज़ एक्सपेक्टिंग ऑफ हिम. So, and I mean, even when he was offered to do rishwat and all that, he didn't do it because that's not how who he is. वो अब्बा जी की बात आ जाती थी, अब्बा जी कहते थे ये नहीं करना, वो नहीं करना. So it showed you that he was honest, but he wouldn't even go to that length to just to, even make money, not to like, take rishwat from anybody or do like do number kaam and stuff like that. So he didn't go to that, which was good, but at the end of the day, it was just kind of like, tali do hath se bachti hai,
But I would say here that he wasn't. It was not like that he wasn't able to provide. He tried his
Yeah.
best. He tried his level best, but his
Yeah.
circumstances and his resources didn't allow him to do that. And the wife, being a soulmate or libas of the other person, should have understood that
right?
But
because she's
don't
living
you
under the
think-
same roof. And अगर बंदे की नियत है, if he has the niyat to buy her a necklace, she should have वो इंतजार कर लेती. But she wanted everything quickly. That's
Right,
the problem.
exactly. Patience नहीं थी, patience, sabar.
But then she was waiting for like 7-8 years for him to, buy her that necklace. Like कितना wait करेगी? And besides, I personally think, in my opinion, बाद में भी तो he decided to become rich and everything, but that was only out of like vengeance and hate.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He had the capability, but he just had to find it.
Capacity थी बेचारे भाई के पास हमारे, कर सकते थे, दानिश भाई कर सकते थे.
कर सकते थे बिल्कुल। उसमें दूसरी चीज़ ये है कि जो जो महविश थी ना, जब वो चली जाए वो कह रही थी यार हमारे पास तो पैसे नहीं है रूमी को स्कूल लाने के ना। रूमी एक और कैरेक्टर है जिसके ऊपर हम आएँगे बाद में। लेकिन इस मामले में ये कहना चाह रहा
I
हूँ
want
कि
to know कि रूमी की एज क्या थी?
8 साल?
नहीं, no, he was a
65.
40-year-old man.
5 or 6. He was 6, I think. It was
He
mentioned
was
in
a
the drama.
40-year-old man.
Physically he was 8 years old, like mentally he was probably like 40 years old or something like that, yeah.
I cannot say to my father that you are my strength or my weakness. Like मैं क्यों बोलूँ? I like weird.
मेरी फैमिली में बहुत बच्चे हैं, राइट? आई हैव लाइक 9 nephews and nieces. मेरे 4 बड़े भाई हैं, तो चारों की शादी है, चारों के बच्चे हैं, राइट?
माशाल्लाह।
10 मेरे पास nephews and nieces हैं, right? And a lot of them are around that same age, 5 to 7 years old. I can't imagine them saying anything beyond, yeah, मुझे Minecraft पसंद है, I like video games, I like YouTube videos, I like Barbie dolls, I like Frozen 2, things like that. Like, इतना mature बच्चा इन्होंने दिखाया है, to the point that I personally, I got a little annoyed by it. एक सीन में उन्होंने दिखाया था कि रूमी वो ड्राइवर को लेके अकेला चला जाता है टीचर के घर.
Yeah, how can you leave your kid with a driver alone? मतलब
Yeah,
आपको क्या
exactly.
है?
His dad is like, तुम कहाँ जा रहे हो? मैं जा रहा हूँ आपका पता नहीं कुछ काम
हाँ, तो
करने के लिए
जाओ।
पापा
रिश्ता लेने के
अब
लिए
बड़ा
पता
मैंने like what कुछ हद होती है. That's where I felt like the drama was a little over the, well, not a little, a lot over the top in certain aspects. Some of the scenes, some of the aspects of it are very very unrealistic. Like ऐसा
They
हो
just
ही नहीं
hurried,
सकता
they
या
just
होना
rushed
ही नहीं
it very
चाहिए.
quickly. ना बस चलाओ आगे निकालो. Like
Right.
I had a problem when they hired a cook without asking him anything, without even testing him कि इसे कुछ बनाना भी आता है कि नहीं आता है. तुम जाओ किचन में सब पड़ा है बना लो.
Yeah.
Like you have a kid in the house, you should know कि कौन है बंदा, क्या आ रहा है, क्या कर रहा है, किसके साथ जा रहा है. You are leaving him alone. वो बेचारा अकेला घर में बैठा हुआ है. You should at least know a little bit about the people who are working in your house. But नहीं. These are also small things ना that our industry is growing, but it's not realizing its responsibilities to its fullest. That's what I would say. That, okay, you are focusing on one thing, but there are other things also that you are trying to convey through a bigger screen because you are targeting the masses here.
Right, exactly. लेकिन मैं एक पॉइंट कहना चाहूँगा कि जो जहाँ तक रूमी की बात है ना, कि महविश कहती थी कि हमारे पास तो पैसे ही नहीं है कि उसको स्कूल में डालेंगे वो. लेकिन जब वो शिवार के साथ चली गई ना, उसको फिर रूमी का ख्याल ही नहीं आया, लेकिन मैं अपने बच्चा भी छोड़ के जा रही हूँ.
I thought about it today, Hamza. I was like, okay, I believe, मैं मान लेती हूँ that a wife was not loyal ना, और वो लड़की भी खराब थी, वो औरत भी खराब थी. But you are also saying कि माँ भी खराब थी.
Yeah, because उसको ओवरऑल दिखाया है मटेरियलिस्टिक है ना, उसको बहुत सिंगल, आई थिंक उसका ब्रेन बहुत सिंगल डायरेक्शन में चलने वाला दिखाया है कि पैसा नजर आ गया तो सब भूल जाओ. आई थिंक उसका कैरेक्टर दिखाया ये कि वो इतनी सेल्फिश है दैट शी डिडंट केयर अबाउट द सन और द हाउस. वरना वो कौन अपने हस्बैंड को इस तरह कह देता है कि मैं तो रह सकती हूँ, या फिर तुम मुझे जाने दो अब, या तलाक के पेपर फौरन दस्ती कोई साइन कर दे ऐसे बैठे बैठे. तो आई थिंक उसको देखा. और जबकि वो जा रही थी तो दानिश उससे पूछता भी है कि सुबह रूमी उठेगा तो मैं से क्या कहूँगा. and like तो वो कहती है वो समझ जाएगा या something of that sort. तो I think उसका कैरेक्टर दिखाया है ये बहुत सिंगल यूनिडिमेंशनल का बस ये इसी तरह सीधा चल रही है इसको पैसा इस वक्त नजर आ रहा है. And I think असल में भी ऐसा होता है कि कभी-कभी जब इंसान एक गलत डिसीजन लेने पे आता है और वो जिद पे अड़ जाता है तो एट टाइम्स बहुत सेंसिबल लोग भी बहुत स्टूपिड मिस्टेक्स करते हैं और बहुत ऐसे डिसीजन लेते हैं जो विच इज अनलाइक देम एट टाइम्स. लाइक वो कहते हैं ना बुरा वक्त जिस पे आता है फिर वो सोचता नहीं है कि वो क्या कर रहा है फिर वो बस बुरा वक्त होता है बुरे डिसीजन होता है आप लिए जाते हो और आप चलते जाते हो ये सोच के कि लाइक दिस इज राइट आई एम राइट एंड नथिंग कैन स्टॉप मी फ्रॉम व्हाटएवर आई एम डूइंग. तो वो एक सेंस ऑफ पावर थी उस वक्त उसके पास वो चली गई अपने बेटे को छोड़ के.
Yeah, and इस पे I think हीरा मानी का I want to add the dialogue of हीरा मानी here क्योंकि मैंने ये she said कि मैं मिलूंगी एक बार आपकी बीवी से और देखूंगी अपने मतलब के लिए अपनी औलाद को चीट करने वाली दिखने में औरत लगती है क्या. I was like what? तो जब बाप like we know a lot of families जहाँ पे the father are constantly being disloyal to the wives, क्या वो बाप लगते हैं obviously लगते हैं.
we इस जेंडर वाले उसके अंदर अगर we start exploring this drama in terms of how skewed it was in portraying genders or given ke the writer himself is such a big how do you say he's so anti women
misogynist.
Yeah, thank you for saying misogynist. बेचारा वो इतना मतलब हमारा पेट्रियार्की से भरा हुआ हमारा राइटर है उससे रहा नहीं गया because if you listen to him and whatever he says on national television or on mainstream media or whatever medium he gets तो you'd understand कि he doesn't care much about कि मर्द लगता है कि नहीं उसको सिर्फ ये कि मर्द ने पूरी जिंदगी लगा दी ये हो गया वो हो गया ये औरत ही है जो क्या नाम है मसले क्रिएट कर रही है इसी को जज.
No, but I was listening to his interview. He uses language which you cannot listen to when you're sitting with family or something. मतलब अजीब गरीब language इस्तेमाल करता है. And he uses a lot of vulgar words also.
He does.
I was watching one of his interviews yesterday actually. और काफी लंबा इंटरव्यू था समा टीवी वाला.
Yes. Oh my God.
There was another Tahira.
Yeah. Tahira Abdullah.
Tahira Abdullah.
Yeah. So there was kind of a debate going on between them. तो वहाँ पे at least based on that interview मैंने बाकी सारी चीजें नहीं देखी खलील रहमान के बारे में. But I just felt like it was difficult to figure him out क्योंकि एक साइड पे वो कह रहा था कि मुझसे बड़ा feminist कोई नहीं है.
Yeah.
Sounds like something Donald Trump would say. Then he was the main place where I think he was completely wrong. Okay, शुरू में कुछ बातें कह रहा था which I was just trying to understand. I thought maybe he has some point here, right? कहता था कि मर्दों से आप उनका हुकूक मत मांगो.
उनके हुकूक में से हिस्सा मत मांगो.
उनके हुकूक में से हिस्सा मत मांगो. I thought maybe there's some wisdom in there, right? He was trying to get into the biological differences, which are things that we cannot control between men and women. Because of that, there might be some result that you cannot change. For example, by default, because men are bigger and stronger, they can become protectors. So maybe that's the point he was trying to make. फिर बाद में interview में ना बाद में जाके इसने कोई ऐसी बात की where I was like, okay, I completely lost you there. He said, मर्द इनकार नहीं कर सकता. A man cannot turn a woman down.
Such a stupid thing to say. Now that was.
Yeah, like मर्द reject नहीं कर सकता लड़की को जब उसको opportunity मिल जाए. That's basically what he was saying in a nutshell. और लड़की कर सकती है. लिहाजा this responsibility falls on the woman. That's where I was like, okay, dude, I lost you there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
I think he's kind of confused. I think that's what I kind of
totally
get at.
Confused.
He's totally confused about it because, and I think he says there's no bigger feminist than him. Okay, ये कहता होगा. Lekin I think he tries to focus on the good woman as to one of the interviews I read. He focused on the good woman. He's like, if a woman is doing उसके अखलाक अच्छे हैं, उसके सारी चीजें अच्छी हैं, then she's a good woman. But if she's not, then she's a non-woman. That's what he was trying to. That's what his point is. And all of his dramas kind of revolve around that. And even this drama kind of revolved around that. He kind of shows Mevish doing something that she shouldn't be doing and something that's not right. So, and she just shows her that he basically shows her as a non-woman as to what she's doing. And even in the drama, he says some good things, but he says some good things as well. लाइक मतीन साहब जो बैठे हुए रहते हैं उनके साथ हुमायूं सईद के साथ बैठे हुए रहते हैं वो कहते हैं कि आपको जो अच्छी औरतें हैं ना उनकी वजह से दुनिया चलती है Okay, so he did throw in that line in there, which is kind of which people don't realize afterwards the drama is over. They just focus on the negative stuff because I think that's just much more easier to focus on afterwards instead of the positive stuff. But he threw that line in there. He's like अच्छी औरतों की वजह से दुनिया चलती है. So that line, I mean, that line shows you that he himself, that why he says he is the biggest feminist ever. So
Yeah, I think the problem is that, as you said, that he's confused. Now, his exact words were that अच्छी औरत for me is the one जिसके पास वफा हो और हया हो. Like, other than that, you don't need any qualities in a woman. She should just be अंधी गूंगी बेरी. आप कहीं बैठ जाओ, आप कहीं उठ जाओ, because उसमें वफा है. And हया हो तो वो बेचारी कहीं भी ना देखे, but आप हर जगह देखें, okay? So, because आप तो मना नहीं कर सकते हैं, वो मना कर सकती है ना, तो आपको इजाजत है, आप देखें, full on देखें. The problem is that while trying to mansplain the world about a womanhood, he equate loyalty as something that just women embody, na? Absolving men of all the responsibilities of doing the same. And I think he's that kind of a person. And okay, for one moment I would say, okay, you are that kind of a writer, you want to write that stuff, at least own your thing. You should say this drama is focusing on this thing. Why are you defending yourself and saying that अच्छी औरत ऐसी है तो बुरी औरत ऐसी है, and I am the biggest feminist in the Pakistan? Bhai, if you have written something, you should own it. You should say this drama is a story, and this story has a main plot, and this is the plot. That's it. Every story has a main plot, and this is the main plot. Ke Mehwish is a little materialistic. That's it. But why are you again coming on the topic अच्छी औरत है, बुरी औरत है, and all the women in the world are only divided into two categories, haya and wafa and अच्छी and बुरी औरत? That is a problem.
I think when he says कि दुनिया जो है वो अच्छी औरतों की वजह से चलती है, that for me as a woman is just a compensation for whatever he's been saying everywhere else. Wherever he goes, he says, तुम्हें पता ही नहीं है तुम्हारे हक क्या हैं, तुम किससे मांगती हो, तुम मर्दों से ही तो मांगती हो, मैं तो कोई ऐसी बात नहीं कर रहा. And then he goes on to, explain how if you want equality, you should kidnap men and then, abuse them or whatsoever. So for me, whenever he says stuff like, कभी भी वो कोई अच्छी बात एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश करता है ना, it just comes off as a compensation, as कि चलो वो होता है ना कि गाजर डाल देना मुंह में कि ये लो you have something to at least hold on to. Let me insult you for a bigger portion of my drama, but let me give you a slight positive light. थोड़ी सी ये positivity ले लो मेरी तरफ से, बाकी मैं आपको सिर्फ negative light में portray करूंगा. So that just feels कि यार मतलब एक होता है ना, it feels very derogatory as a woman. For me, when he says stuff like this, like उसने बोला कि औरत जो होती है वो फितरतन बेवफा नहीं होती है, और बेवफा जो होती है वो फितरतन औरत नहीं होती है. And that was like these were his words when on a special episode of Mere Paas Tum Ho Airwine ने host किया था. And
all the women were
honestly
cringing.
the cringe in my heart, my face, my existence. All I wanted to do was, just go like, हैं भाई क्या? और फिर मेरा दिल किया to make him sit and listen to all the stories women go through on a daily basis, and then they don't die of betrayal. They get up, they make them breakfast, and even if they're working, they'd go for work, they'd come back, and then they'd cook for them as well. And वो होता है ना उनके दिमाग, उनका ये नहीं है कि they don't feel that way. It's not like औरत बहुत forgiving होती है और या फिर उसका बड़ा दिल बड़ा होता है तो वो सह लेगी. You should always know that you're talking about a human. और उसी एपिसोड के अंदर the other panelist said कि औरत को सिर्फ रिश्तों की लेंस से देखना बंद कर देना चाहिए. औरत को आप एज अ ह्यूमन व्यू करेंगे तो आपको अंडरस्टैंडिंग होगी कि व्हाट शी गोज थ्रू, या आप जिस तरह उसके बारे में बात करें वो कितना डेरोगेटरी है. So I think for me, whenever he says something nice, I just feel like smashing his face. I'm so sorry.
The thing is that the women who get up in I would talk about Pakistan, they get up in the morning knowing that their husbands were disloyal and everything, because while living in Germany, I know what my rights are. Na? If my husband will do something like that, I can go outside and ask for my rights and the government will give them to me. My rights are protected by the government also. In Pakistan, कहाँ पे जाएगा कोई बंदा? कौन से मतलब, even if a woman has to go to a court to get a khula and a husband is a little powerful, she cannot do that. She has to get a little money, and if she comes from a poor background or the family is not settled, she cannot do that. She has to go there at least 5-6 years she has to spend there, even though they claim that it is better, you can get it so many times. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people, it's my own khala going all through this. You cannot get it so easily. It's so difficult for a woman. She has to get kharcha for her 3 kids now who are under 18. She cannot get that. She has to go to the court to get that, and she's been fighting this case for the last 2 years. Abhi tak nahi mil raha. These are the basic things when you say achhi aurat, buri aurat, and then again you should look at the system that you have made for a woman, and then you say that you are a group of people who are fighting for your rights, which we have taken from you. How can they not?
But then just तरीके से Khalilur Rahman, the way he was arguing, I guess, in that interview, especially, and I've seen a few other of his videos too, he just seems a bit more personal on the matter, like as if like something's happened to him.
Yeah, I think
वो जो ड्रामा था ना, वो क्या था, सदके तुम्हारे, he said that it's my story. I'm pretty sure उसको अभी तक उस बात का दुख है कि उसको
I think I read it somewhere. मैंने कहीं पढ़ा था कि उसको वो किसी लड़की को पसंद करता था. Like this is when he was young. This is actually a true story. Apparently he liked some girl when he was young, and he was actually an intern at a mechanic shop. And the guy, the girl that he liked, she ended up marrying a doctor. उसने डॉक्टर से शादी कर ली. And I think that's where he kind of gets that. I think he's still heartbroken about that. I don't know how old he was when that happened to him. I guess he was still heartbroken about that. But I think that's why he's writing all these dramas, because he wants to get all that frustration out and just kind of show that all that maybe, it's just what he actually went through, that maybe something like that. But I mean, it's just kind of like, the point you brought up, Habib, is like he kind of gets personal about it. And yeah, he was just kind of right, because I think he kind of maybe had a bad experience, which kind of made him say all these things and made him maybe make dramas like this. You never know. I mean, it could have been that. Because
why is he so negative about all the women who do a little bit bad to him? Like I heard him, पता नहीं कौन से show पे बैठा हुआ बोल रहा था 3-4 actresses के बारे में, that I will never work with them. They are like this, they are like that.
He said that about Urwa
Urwa, exactly, Marwa, whatever their name is, and उनके बारे में unprofessional है, उनकी नाक ऐसे ऊपर हो गई है. I was like, अगर उन्होंने कुछ किया भी, it's between you and them. Talk to them personally. Why are you bringing them?
Yeah, I don't know why he came out publicly about that. That was kind of strange too.
Yeah,
and I liked Urwa's response to that, actually. She responded by just saying, I respect him a lot. That's about it.
She kept it professional.
I don't know why the industry. The thing is that Khalilur Rahman, he is right now the only person in Pakistan who is loved and hated equally.
Yeah, he's loved and hated. It's like you can't love him, but
he's
you have to hate him as well.
He's loved for his written work that he does, but jo concept hai, he's hated for that.
Yeah.
Like he's the same guy who has written Kaaf Kangana and that stupid song Neelam Munir ka Khwabon mein jab main Pakistan gire. Like, have you listened to that song? Isn't that song degrading?
Oh my God, you guys are missing out on the best thing.
Oh wait, you should listen to that. It was, and you should listen. बिचारी नीलम मुनीर को उन्होंने डांस कराया उसमें. I'm like, आप उसको डांस करा रहे हैं, and then आप उसे डांस करा रहे हैं. You have written the lyrics, you have given her the work, and then you will call her कि ये अच्छी औरत नहीं. So this is what irritates me.
This is why he's so controversial, because he just comes out and says all these things, and
because that's what I feel like. I feel like the drama as a standalone, if you were not up to date on what the writer of this drama is doing or what he's saying, right, the drama by itself is actually okay. I mean, kuch lines they seem a little over the top, but overall the drama was fine in terms of showing a story about one disloyal
was top notch, I would say.
Right. All this guy had to do is maybe keep his mouth closed if he had negative opinions, but he chose not to. Otherwise, the drama itself was good, and I think because there's been plenty of dramas with antagonistic guys as well. Like हम उडारी की बात कर रहे थे, उडारी में Ahsan Khan, who did a really good job, by the way.
He was also a very negative role.
It was such an important topic क्योंकि ये मसला होता है पाकिस्तान में.
This is happening right now, and it has in previous years it has exploded. पता नहीं कहाँ से. People have started talking about it. It has been happening since ages. It has been happening since I remember. It has been happening, but people are just talking about it right now thanks to social media and everything. And even though our media also, I would call it, our media is also one of the pillars of the Parliament of Pakistan. It has grown very stronger and everything, in a good way also, and also in a bad way, but mostly in a good way. But if people are talking about it, and if they can get their rights a little bit, थोड़े से हक मिल जाए उनको, थोड़ा सा, they get a little whatever compensation or whatever, then it's a good thing.
Right. अच्छा, what do you शिवार का क्या शिवार के बारे में ख्याल है? I just hated that character.
Why didn't he die in the end?
Why he should have died. He should have died in the end.
You said that ताली दो हाथ से बजती है ना.
Right.
He was also involved. Now he was the one who offered Mavish के मेरे साथ इस्लामाबाद चलो, मेरी सिगरेट छुड़वाओ, ये नेकलेस ले लो, उसके ऊपर पानी गिरा के उस बेचारे को कहीं भेज दिया और उसको पता नहीं कहाँ लेके चलता फिरा. So why didn't he die? Why did he get to live in a nice house in his पता नहीं ancestral house and live his life? And उसका तो भी अच्छा हुआ ना, उसकी इतनी कोई डाडी किस्म की बीवी थी, तो वो तो उसको साथ छोड़ के चला गया.
बीवी भी अच्छी थी. बीवी आखिर में कहती है मैं तुम्हें एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए भी रेडी हूँ. उसने ये भी ढके चुप अल्फाज में से कह दिया कि मैं एक्सेप्ट कर लूंगी, वापस आ जाओ,
मैं माफ नहीं करूंगी,
सब फिट हो जाएगा. हाँ, लाइक हम
सब फिट हो जाएगा.
हम आराम से रहेंगे, हमारी एक छोटी सी फैमिली भी बनेगी. और वो भाई
कोई
साहब
नहीं, मैं भी उतारती हूँ पराठा, कोई फिक्र ना करो. बैठो तो.
Yeah, she's like totally
I was
मतलब
like,
सब-
why didn't this girl marry दानिश ना? मतलब वो शहवार मर जाता और ये बेचारी महविश रोती रहती, और ये जो इसकी थी बीवी शहवार की, ये इसको कोई अच्छा सा मिल जाता अमेरिका में जहाँ ये रह रही थी, और क्या कहते हैं ना भी मिलता तो अपनी she was rich, she was powerful, she could have gone with her life like the way she was. And
तो फिर हानिया टीचर का क्या होता?
मिस हानिया की बेचारे से शादी करा देते दानिश से. बेचारी को एंड में कुछ भी नहीं मिला.
लेकिन एंड में उन्होंने वो ही दिखाया कि जो मैविश है ना, she has to live with that regret for the rest of her life. मतलब वो जो regret है ना, जिसने काम किया, she has to live with that for the rest of her life. And also
तो साथ साथ शहवार को भी मार देते ना.
हाँ, शिवार को भी मरना चाहिए. तो मुझे तो पसंद नहीं था वो. I hated that character, bro. I hated his face, like literally the way he just literally destroys another person's life. You gotta think about it.
So easily that too so easily, na?
Yeah,
and
that,
if
and
he
very
had
easily.
50 million rupees or whatever he had, I was like, यार बात सुनो, थोड़ा सा गवर्नमेंट को दे दो, हमारा कर्जा उतर जाए.
अच्छा, इस पे बड़ी अच्छी फनी मीम मिली थी, फनी मीम बनी थी कि वो हमारी सेठ कहता है कि आप मुझे 50 मिलियन देंगे इसके लिए. फिर on the second picture it said, जो दूसरी पिक्चर थी उसमें पीछे इमरान खान खड़ा हुआ है और शहवार के ऊपर क्वेश्चन मार्क लगा हुआ है. कहता है भाई इस पे टैक्स भी लगेगा.
I think that the memes were just fabulous for this drama, na? Like जो मनाहिल ने बोला है वो डायलॉग, फितरतन औरत नहीं होती है. I was reading the memes. It was like जिस बिरयानी में नहीं, बिरयानी फितरतन आलू के बगैर होता है, और जिस बिरयानी में आलू होता है वो फितरतन बिरयानी नहीं होती है. Like, dude, this is so legit.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think ये आलू के साथ की बिरयानी वाली जंग will continue till the end of times.
मेरे ख्याल में after about the 12th episode, right? 12th episode में वो चली जाती है Mavish to his house.
Yeah, but my heart was pounding when she was leaving. I was like, will she go? Will she actually go?
I think up until episode 12 was so intense. Episode 12, by the way, was probably my favorite episode of the whole show. क्योंकि इतना intense episode था, इतना emotional episode था. वो cake काट रहा है, anniversary मना रहा है.
Yeah, that drained me, man. Like I would say, that was emotionally draining. You just
that
like,
was definitely the peak of the whole show for me.
And it's just like, when I'm watching that episode, I don't know what to feel. It's just like, you just like emotionally drained. It's like you just kind of like feel bad for him. You're like, what is going on? And like, it's just like he's coming and she's going.
They showed ना that बेचारे को चोट लगी है. बेचारा is like he's broken, he's sick, he's totally shattered. But Mavish doesn't care ना. Mavish is like, she's like, मैं तो जाना ही जाना है, मैं तो रहना ही नहीं है इस घर में. So he says कि जब लड़की बेवफा होती है तो बहुत मतलब खुल की होती है, वो आंखें ही फेर लेती है. I was like, yes, this is actually true, because जब when a woman is loyal, she is loyal also आंखें बंद करके. और जब नहीं होती है तो शायद नहीं होती होगी, फिर ऐसी होती होगी. I've never seen, but I believe it is like that.
It matters person to person. वही बात आ जाती है कि दोबारा आप एक जेंडर को you cannot say
you can't generalize everybody.
Yeah, हर बंदी ऐसी होती है.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, anyway, after that, that's where I felt like after that episode, the drama started going downhill. क्योंकि मेरे ख्याल में जिस direction में जाना चाहिए था इसको, उस direction में गया नहीं. It sounded like it was heading into the right direction when they were talking about Rumi के ऊपर लड़ाई हो रही थी, right? And I thought that this might go to court. मैंने सोचा शायद ये court पे चला जाएगा या कोई एक दो कत्ल हो जाएगा over Rumi. Now that would have been a good topic if they carried it all the way to the end. कि ये मेरा बेटा है, मैं who does my son belong to? But instead they started going into this unrealistic sequence of events. के Danish starts getting rich. दानिश ने स्टॉक मार्केट में इन्वेस्टमेंट इन वो पूरी फर्म बैठी हुई है, वो फर्म में आके इसको इस बंदे को बिल्कुल स्टॉक्स के बारे में पता ही नहीं, वो आके स्टॉक्स में पैसे डाल रहा है।
आपके पास डिग्री कौन सी है?
that too वो भी थोड़ा अनरियलिस्टिक चीज थी कि वो अच्छा मैंने रिसर्च किया, इस पे भी मीम बनी थी कि अब सारे लोग पाकिस्तान में बैठ के गूगल कर रहे होंगे भाई स्टॉक से कैसे पैसे बनाते हैं like literally सारे लोग बैठ के ये
such a
गूगल
bad reason that guy gave कि जिसका दिल टूटा होता है वो स्टॉक का बाबा होता है, पता नहीं इसका करके कुछ ने रीजन दी थी कि उसकी हर बात माननी चाहिए। अगर स्टॉक मार्केट अगर ऐसे चलती है स्टॉक मार्केट, आई विल नेवर इन्वेस्ट।
Yeah, well, I mean, unless you do insider trading, you can become a millionaire off of stocks. लेकिन
I would like
obviously इतना आसान ही नहीं है।
I mean, like वो एक ढाबे पे बैठा हुआ है खाना खा रहा है, वो पीछे लोग बैठे हैं, वो बातें कर रहे हैं, वो जो शवार के मेडिकली काम कर रहे होते हैं, ठीक है ना, वो बैठ के सुन लेता है यार मैंने भी लगा दिए हैं 50 रुपए 100 रुपए लगा दिए जितनी भी लगा दिए हैं, और फिर वो अपने दोस्त को फोन करता है और फिर वो उसके पास चले जाता है, वो कहता है इस पे लगा दो, फिर वो सारी चीजें सेट हो जाती हैं, फिर ऊपर चले जाता है, वो स्टॉक मार्केट से पैसे बना लेता है।
That's where I felt like it started getting very unrealistic, क्योंकि ठीक है ये दानिश का उन्होंने दिखा दिया, immediately I knew कि अब दानिश का अच्छा टाइम आ रहा है, इसका मतलब शहवार का बुरा टाइम आने वाला है। It started to become predictable. And then Aiza Khan, महविश जो थी, she did not feel any remorse कि मैंने कोई गलत काम किया up until she gets kicked out of the house.
Right.
तब उसको पता लगा कि यार मेरे साथ बहुत बुरा हुआ है, यार मेरा बेटा भी है एक, अच्छा मैं बेटे को जाके
अच्छा मेरा बेटा भी है, मेरा वो उसको जब उसको ख्याल नहीं है, जब वो घर छोड़ के जाई थी उसको ख्याल नहीं, अच्छा मेरा बेटा भी है एक।
नहीं, when she was rich and powerful she didn't manage to meet Rumi ना, जब बेचारी गरीब हो गई, रहने के लिए घर नहीं था, suddenly she managed कि मैं रूमी से मिल लेती हूँ, पहले भी तो मिल सकती थी।
अच्छा इस ड्रामा में एक hidden hero है, and I want you guys to guess who that hidden hero is.
Hiramani.
No.
Mateen साहब।
No, it's not Mateen.
Salman.
It's not Salman either.
Oh, Monty.
नहीं, Monty भी नहीं।
Security guard.
Diwan Saab.
Exactly. Yeah, Diwan Saab was the hero.
Diwan Saab आस्तीन का सांप थे।
क्योंकि वो जाके सबको पता, वो जाके वो जो शवार की बीवी थी, महाम नाम था उसका,
उसको सब बता दिया
उसने।
Diwan Saab was आस्तीन का सांप for शवार।
Yeah, exactly. दीवान साहब वो छुपे
दीवान साहब की लेजिट एक चीज थी कि उसको पिंक कलर के टिफिन के अंदर खाना दे रहे थे, तो मैंने कहा मैं होती ना शिवाय की जगह, मैं दीवान साहब को कहती पुत्र बाकी सब साइड पे, तुम तो इधर आओ ना जरा। मतलब इतनी अथॉरिटी किसके पास होती है? शायद जिसके पास 50 मिलियन होते हैं, जिन लोगों के पास उनके घर में होती होगी।
एंड आई थिंक कि बहुत ज्यादा फिर अचानक से शहवार को स्पाइनलेस दिखाना शुरू कर दिया। आई मीन स्पाइनलेस तो पहले से ही दिखा रहे थे पर ढके छुपे अल्फाज में, लेकिन इतना स्पाइनलेस कि वो बेचारा अपना नौकर को भी कुछ नहीं कह सकता, उससे भी क्या नाम है बातें सुन रहा है, बीवी से भी सुन रहा है, और इवन आयजा को भी दिखाया, लाइक महविश को भी दिखाया कि लाइक शी हैज बिकम लाइक टोटली शैटर्ड। और वही बात टेक्निकली अगेन जो हर ड्रामे में होती है कि भाई जो गलत करेगा उसको अल्लाह की मार पड़ेगी,
बुरे काम का बुरा अंजाम।
बट आई डिडंट नो कि महविश दानिश से मिलके करना क्या चाह रही थी, मतलब शादी तो कर नहीं सकते थे दोबारा,
बट वो मेरा ख्याल है
व्हाट एक्चुअली वाज शी सीकिंग। उसने बोला है मैंने तुम्हें माफ कर दिया, आई डिडंट अंडरस्टैंड कि वो क्या चाह रही थी।
आई थिंक अगर वो दानिश को मारते नहीं तो कुछ हमें पता लग जाता।
वो शादी तो दोबारा हो भी नहीं सकती थी ना, वो तो इस्लामिकली तो आप मतलब आप अगर आपने
इफ आई रिमेंबर करेक्टली शी सेड कि मुझे अपने घर में छोटी सी जगह दे देना और हम पहले जैसे क्यों नहीं हो सकते।
Yeah, so I think she wanted to do that.
She just wanted the girlfriend experience again, I guess.
हाँ वो जब वो मोंटी के साथ जब वो आती है ना घर में वापस, अपार्टमेंट वापस आती है, वो घर वापस वो अपार्टमेंट ले लेती है वापस, फिर वो मोंटी से कहती है कि मेरे साथ तो फ्लर्ट करो ना।
Oh my God, that was so cringy.
That was crazy. That was a little unusual.
That was her trying to teach him a lesson, I think, right?
No, I think that was based. She's trying to go back to the past. Because when she used to live in that apartment, जब वो रहती थी वहाँ पे दानिश के साथ, तो वो करता था उसके साथ, and she would just flat out ignore. And now she wants to go back into that same past before she met Shawar and everything.
But this time he was married.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
शादी के बाद वो भी नेक हो गया, शादी से पहले नहीं था. So all the guys out there, if they are not married, they are not sharif.
Right. So I wonder why in that scene he didn't say कि मर्द what was that line कि मर्द इनकार नहीं कर सकता.
It was like कि उसने कहा कि मैं इनकार नहीं करूंगा इसलिए मैं आपसे फ्लर्ट करूंगा.
अच्छा इसमें एक और पॉइंट भी मैं लाना चाहता हूँ कि महविश को एक सबक मिला था ना कि महविश पैसों के पीछे पागल थी, पैसों की लालच थी उसे, पैसों के पीछे पागल थी. एंड जब उसके सामने उसकी बीवी आके रखती है ना, ये लो तुम्हारे पैसे, चेक रखती है उसके सामने, that just shows you that she has all the money in the world that she wants but she's not happy. So that's another lesson as well. So that kind of just shows you money is not everything. She was after money, she got it, and she has the money right there. But does she have any family relations? Does she have any good relations? She doesn't. उसके पास कुछ है भी नहीं सवाए पैसों के. So that's why she can't do anything with that money. किसके साथ अपनी खुशी शेयर करेगी? किसके साथ करेगी? She's broken inside. Even though that's kind of what the symbol is. That's kind of what that symbolized. अब बाद में लोग ये भी कह रहे थे यार उस चेक का क्या हुआ जो 2 करोड़ का चेक दिया तो वो
I
किधर
think
गया?
she rejected it.
नहीं वो पड़ा हुआ था टेबल पे पड़ा हुआ था वो.
She left it on the table. Yeah, right. She rejected it. लेकिन उसने टेबल पे छोड़ दिया था, and then she took it.
Oh,
And that's how
okay.
she bought the flat back, right?
Apparently,
She was
yeah.
so
I
stupid
think-
to have taken that check.
Yeah, Mavish took it. So then she bought the flat back.
Oh god.
Right. Uh-huh.
मतलब उन्होंने
Right,
पूरा
exactly.
दिखाया है कि ये लड़की जो है ना इसको सिर्फ पैसा चाहिए, मतलब बेचारी.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the only problem with the drama. कि after that it became black and white. कि जो बुरा है वो उसके साथ
वो
बुरा ही
बहुत
होगा,
बुरा
जो
है.
अच्छा है उसके साथ अच्छा ही होगा. Yeah, right. And in reality, real life isn't like that. Everybody's complex.
Yeah.
उनको थोड़ा they made it too predictable at the end. They should have focused on something that's a little more realistic.
And also there was a kid in the marriage. They एक episode में only
Right.
they call Danish and say that Rumi is not doing well in school and everything, and they said that he will be okay. He is my weakness or strength. That famous dialogue also. But it was just for a few minutes ना. But after that Rumi was totally okay. अम्मी से भी बात कर रहा है, अब्बा की शादी करा रहा है. But how can a kid accept another woman in his house so quickly?
8 साल का बच्चा जो है वो शादी करा रहा है. वाह भाई क्या बात है.
Rumi
Like
की-
literally, come on. That does not happen in real life.
He is
I mean,
just
like,
a teacher. और वो कह रहे है एक लड़की और टीचर को समझ नहीं आ रही कौन सी लड़की है. How can she be so stupid?
Yeah. हीरा मानी का role तो बहुत simplified था.
बहुत simple है, बहुत
And she just
simplified
had one
होता है.
face. The whole drama, she just had the same face, like
She
the
has the same
Yeah.
face.
the worried face.
अच्छा इसमें एक और दूसरी चीज मैं लाना चाहता हूँ. अच्छा ये जब इनके साथ मसले हो रहे थे, सारी चीज मसले हो रही थी, इनको सिर्फ अपना दोस्त ही मिला था कॉल करने के लिए, अपनी कोई मामा
कोई
चाचा
family नहीं है.
कोई फैमिली नहीं है
No
इनकी. लाइक
family
लिटरली
नहीं
वो सब कोई मतलब कोई फप्पो होती है, कोई चाचा होता है, कोई ताया होता है जिसके पास आप जा सकते हैं. I mean, if God forbid, if anybody in that situation, the last person they will call is their friend. They will call their family members first. That's
I will
obvious,
never
right?
call my friend like that. I will say कोई suggestion तो मिलेगा नहीं.
हाँ,
I think
exactly.
that question के family सारी कहाँ पे, वो तब भी रेज होता है जब वो शादी तोड़ के एक रात में अचानक चली भी जाती है और फिर वो
हाँ.
कहाँ होती है, उसके कोई वेयर अबाउट्स नहीं है, कोई लड़के से नहीं पूछ रहा बेटा तेरी बीवी कहाँ है.
I think there was nobody. जब दानिश मर रहा था, they also didn't call anybody.
तो मेरा ख्याल है दोनों के घर में कोई भी नहीं था.
किसी को वो दिखाया वो बहुत ही आइसोलेटेड रहते हैं. उसकी बस एक ही दोस्त है, वो भी कहाँ गई. दोस्त भी जो थी अनोशे जो थी उसकी, वो पता नहीं उसका बहुत ही स्मॉल रोल था जो उसकी दोस्त अनोशे होती है.
अनुषे
उसके साथ
वो वाली friend थी जो affair चलवाती है.
हाँ एग्जैक्टली.
अनुषे ही नहीं तो सारा चक्कर चलाया.
अनुषे ने तो
was
सारा
the one
चक्कर चलाया.
who
अनुषे ने
messed
तो बात
everything
बताई
up.
उसे.
Yeah, the bad influence.
Bad influence.
वो भी औरत थी.
और
Yeah.
दानिश के लिए तो पहले ही बता दिया था दानिश ने कि मेरे कोई दोस्त नहीं है, मैं तो जब भी तन्हा फील करता हूँ बटवा खोल के तुम्हारी तस्वीर देख लेता हूँ, तो मैं सोचता हूँ
मेरे पास तुम हो.
The end.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
I started dropping that line on my wife too, like मुझे तो कुछ चाहिए नहीं, this is all I need. And she gets. It doesn't work in real life. I'll let you guys know that much.
It does not. Of course not.
ड्रामे में बंदा दिखता है तो पिघल जाता है.
हाँ.
रियल लाइफ में कोशिश करो तो वो नहीं काम करता.
If you,
Real life
if
में
you
थोड़ा वो
speak like this,
चीजी सा हो जाता है.
आगे
Cheesy सा.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day आ रहा है ना, so I was just like I don't need anything. I really don't want anything. मेरे पास तुम हो इसलिए that didn't work.
now you can make a card ना, मतलब print out निकाल ले मेरे पास तुम होगा.
Yeah, actually that's a good idea. Yeah.
Nice.
वो बस.
अच्छा एक और funny बात जो खलील रहमान ने बोली ना in that interview I watched last night. Again, he seemed confused, like Hamza was kind of mentioning, right? So this journalist guy, Ovais, he calls him out कि आपने ये line इस्तेमाल की 2 टके की औरत, right? How do you explain that line, right? Why are you kind of demeaning women like that with that line? तो खलील रहमान ने response दिया, आपको पता ही नहीं मैंने बोला क्या है. I did not say 2 टके की औरत. I said 2 टके की लड़की. Everybody started laughing. फिर उसके बाद उनको वो होस्ट ने चांस ही नहीं दिया खलील रहमान को कि what is the difference between
इसका
लड़की
मतलब
and
क्या है
औरत?
लड़की और औरत, मतलब क्या है?
He never got a chance to explain that. He never got a chance to kind of.
Thank God, वरना वो कोई और ही कोई, he would have bought up, reasoned it with something stupid, and we would all be like, what?
Yeah, I mean maybe it was just that an औरत is not an औरत, I guess, if she's
हाँ, वो
2
वही-
टके की. 2 टके की सिर्फ लड़की ही हो सकती है क्योंकि लड़की is not as mature.
As a
I
woman.
don't know what he was trying to get.
I don't understand that. I felt like Adnan Siddiqui and that वो सलमान की wife, I only know about these two, that after the show has ended, they have said that I don't feel very proud of doing this project. And I was like, when you were doing it, you were given the script before, right or wrong?
Adnan Siddiqui said that.
Yeah, he said that. So I was like, you were such a senior artist. I cannot believe कि आप सेट पे आए और उन्होंने कहा कि ये डायलॉग बोल दो, और आपको हर रोज डायलॉग मिलते थे और आप बोलते थे. आपको स्क्रिप्ट मिली होगी, आपको पता होगा क्या पढ़ने. आपको पढ़ने से पहले नहीं पता था. When all the people started saying things, then you were like, oh, मुझे तो अपना अच्छा वाला कैरेक्टर मेंटेन रखना है. You know, my PR should be okay. So I would just tweet this.
अरे मुझे तो पता भी नहीं उसने ये कहा बोला भी.
Yeah. I did not catch where he said that actually. I know that one other actress said it. वो जो
सलमान की जो वाइफ थी.
सलमान की वाइफ थी. She said that. Rahmat Ajmal is her name, and she said that.
Yeah, she said that, and Adnan Siddiqui also said that. I don't know what he said, but the concept was that he's not proud of it and whatever. I didn't even read it. मुझे इतना गुस्सा आया. I was like,
No, wait. Myrah, मैं आर्टिकल अभी देख रहा हूँ. इधर लिखा हुआ कि I will not say that I regret doing मेरे पास तुम हो, Adnan Siddiqui.
Yeah.
ये recent article. तो Adnan Siddiqui ने तो नहीं कहा. Hold on, I'm sharing it right now.
अच्छा ये जो सामने लिखा है.
Yeah.
I may not agree with that, but that's his point of view, and he has the right to say it.
Yeah, he explained, adding that Khalil Rahman and all the feminists are a part of this society. Yeah, actually, this is a good topic to talk about. कि actors or actresses ने कैसे respond किया इस show की controversy पे. We know Rahmat Ajmal's position. She said she regretted it because she did not know Khalil Rahman that well, I guess, when she signed up for this drama. Adnan Siddiqui की position it's kind of in the middle, right? Or Aiza Khan.
She is very happy about it.
Aiza Khan shared a post on her Instagram where she was just saying that she wrote a long post in Urdu.
Yeah, she said that people ये औरत को एक negative.
She was kind of defending her role. Yeah, she was defending her role. कहती है कि औरत भी बुरी हो सकती है.
So Adnan Siddiqui here is being very diplomatic. Now he's saying that he is not even clear about his stance. If he has done the project, if I would be in his shoes now, if I have done something, I would think 100 times before doing it. But if I have done it, now I would take the responsibility. I would own that shit.
Yeah, exactly. अगर आपने एक प्रोजेक्ट करना है तो आप पहले स्क्रिप्ट तो पढ़ें भाई आप क्या करेंगे आपका रोल क्या होगा.
After that you're giving such diplomatic reviews, such confused statements.
There's an important thing to distinguish here. Is Adnan Siddiqui saying this about the drama? Yeah, is he saying this about Khalil Rahman's statements outside of the drama?
He's saying he does not regret the drama, and he doesn't agree or disagree with the writer.
And
क्योंकि controversy Khalil Rahman की statements की वजह से ज्यादा हुई है.
Exactly.
Less so from the drama itself.
I think दो टके की औरत did not create that much hype until and unless Khalil Rahman opened his mouth.
लोग तो बहुत खुश थे दो टके की औरत पे, like in the beginning.
तो उस पे तो सही थे.
Yeah, exactly, that's what I said.
अगर Khalil Rahman चुप रहता ना जब तक ड्रामा चल रहा था, I think it would have been no controversy whatsoever.
Yeah. And I think they also paid him a little कि चलो भाई कुछ बोल दो, drama hype up होगा. But that's my point ना कि if you have made a project and you think that this is what you want to show to the people, just say that this is how it is. यही दिखाना है हमने. We don't care. We are not generalizing. We are not relating it to everybody. जिस तरह आप disclaimer देते ना, आप एक disclaimer दे दें आप ड्रामे से पहले कि ये किसी को हम point out नहीं कर रहे हैं. This is just a story. This is a story. This is the figment of an imagination or something like that. But then again, you come up on national television and then you start saying it कि औरत are in two categories, अच्छी और बुरी. This is where the problem starts.
Yeah.
If it's just a story, तो हम अब बात होती है स्टोरीज की, तो कितनी स्टोरीज पाकिस्तान में ऐसी हैं जो कि कितनी मेस्ड अप होती हैं. हम सुनते हैं ना, हमारे पता नहीं कौन सुनाते रहते हैं, बाद में पता लगता है सच भी नहीं है. सर कटा जिन, पता नहीं कौन सा दरख्त, बाल खोल के मत जाओ, इस तरह की ये कोई असली कहानी है, बट ये होती है.
हाँ, इस तरह की कहानी तो बहुत सुनी है मैंने. हाँ, कि बाल खोल के मत जाओ वरना तो पता नहीं जिन चढ़ जाएंगे. वो नहीं होते जो
इवन तो हमारे बड़े जो होते हैं अपने बारे में, अपने बचपन के बारे में अजीबोगरीब बातें बताते रहते हैं. वी नो दैट it's not true, they're lying. But it's just a story. Just move on. We can move on with it, knowing that it's just a story. Because there are books also. कितनी books होती हैं? Like इतनी books होती हैं जो कि दुनिया में लोग लिखते हैं. You cannot agree with everything, but if you just read it as a story, just for time pass, then it's okay. But if you start saying कि ये उसकी वजह से हुआ है, इसकी वजह से हुआ है, you just start imposing your things on other people's mind, then it creates a problem.
I think when you talk about such issues, right? तो अगर आप इस ड्रामे को इस तरह भी देख लेते, अगर खलीलुर रहमान would have been sensible enough, तो ये भी कह सकता था कि यार, there's a lot of dramas going on around about how men are not loyal, men are like portrayed as the negative source in every other story. So this is maybe a fresh touch, and maybe you should also know that men can also be, you know, मतलब मर्दों को एक अच्छी लाइट में भी दिखाया जा रहा है कि जहाँ पे वो they're not as emotionally, you know, strong or anything. मतलब उनको भी ज़रूरत है, उनको भी रोते हुए दिखाया कि वो ना मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता वाला स्टीरियोटाइप खत्म करके एक ऐसे इंसान को दिखाया जिसको दर्द भी होता है, वो रोता भी है, वो अपनी बीवी से प्यार भी करता है, वो अपने बच्चे का भी ख्याल रखता है और उसने ये भी नहीं कहा कि मैं अपने बच्चे का ख्याल नहीं रखूँगा और उसने दूसरी शादी करने के लिए भी नहीं फ़ौरन से तैयार हो गया कि नहीं मैं दूसरी शादी करूँगा, इससे प्यार ही लेके आऊँगा। यू नो इस तरह की किसी वेंजेंस में भी नहीं पड़ा, तो वो इस तरह भी इस चीज़ को क्या नाम है खत्म कर सकता था। बट लाइक एवरीबॉडी इज सेइंग कि अगर वो चुप रहता ना तो लाइक इट वुड हैव बीन लाइक अ ड्रामा जिसको देख के लोग कुछ एक्सपेक्टेशंस रख सकते थे कि मे बी दिस ड्रामा विल शेड लाइट ऑनटू समथिंग दैट इज हैपनिंग बट नॉट मेनी मेन कैन टॉक अबाउट इट क्योंकि यू नो मर्दों को बोलने की भी इजाजत नहीं होती है इस बारे में क्योंकि अगर वो बोलेंगे तो लोग कहेंगे ये क्या पागल वाली बात कर रहे हैं यार छोड़ के गई है कोई और फंसा ले इस तरह का कोई सीन हो जाएगा ये उस डायरेक्शन में जा सकता था ड्रामा But then this drama
Yeah.
literally took like a U-turn और उसने हमें वहीं पे उसी पॉइंट पे लाके खड़ा कर दिया जहाँ पे मर्द और औरत का इस तरह का कंपैरिजन हो रहा है जहाँ पे मर्द को फिर एक सुपीरियर पावर में एक या दूसरे कैरेक्टर में दिखाया गया है कि वो एक बंदे ने लिखा था कहीं पे कि ड्रामे के एंड तक शहवार साहब ही थे बट महविश 2 टके की औरत से लेके ऐसी औरत भी हो चुकी थी जिसके मुंह पे थूक रहे थे लोग लाइक उसको एक डायलॉग
हमने
लाके
कहा
बोला
था
गया क्या
कि तुम इतनी खूबसूरत हो कि तुम्हें देख के
Yeah.
रश्क आता है और पर तुम इतनी बदसूरत हो कि तुम पे थूकने का
तुम
भी
पे
दिल नहीं
थूकने का दिल करता है तो यू नो लाइक
Who said that to her?
Maham.
शहवाज वाइफ
When she came to
Maham.
give the money ना then
yeah.
she said
Okay, I see.
या
Right,
सो
right.
लाइक तो ये
ठीक है.
पूरा एक राउंड जो था ना वो सर आप मतलब यू गो बैक टू स्क्वायर वन राइट आपके पास और कोई बात नहीं है करने के लिए सिवाय इसके कि औरत जो है वो खराब है और गिवन इतना सेंसिटाइज ये इसलिए भी हो गया क्योंकि औरतें ऑलरेडी हमारी कंट्री में बहुत स्ट्रगल कर रही हैं अपने राइट्स के लिए और डोमेस्टिक
Yeah.
राइट्स के लिए तो
हाँ,
पागलों
बिल्कुल
की तरह स्ट्रगल कर रही हैं तो उसके ऊपर अगर कोई ऐसा इन्फ्लुएंशियल बंदा आके बात करना शुरू कर दे और उसमें मर्दों की आवाज सुनाई ना दे रही हो जिसमें कोई भी मर्द या फिर कोई भी जो मेल कैरेक्टर है वो बात ही ना कर रहा हो इस बारे में कि नहीं यार ये प्रॉब्लमैटिक है क्योंकि उस पैनल के ऊपर जिस भी पैनल में बैठ के खलीलुर रहमान बात करता है उस पैनल में औरतें जो है वो सिर्फ किस हद तक उसको निगेट करती हैं कि जहाँ वो ताली नहीं बजाती हैं वो हंस के नीचे देखती हैं द ओनली वुमन आई एवर सीन जो उसकी बातों को ऊपर एक स्माइल भी दे रही थी और बहुत उसको अच्छे जवाब भी दे रही थी वो ताहिरा अब्दुल्ला एंड
Tahir
आई वाज
Abdullah.
सो हैप्पी कि यार ये बंदी
Yeah.
लाइक नेक्स्ट लेवल है लेकिन बाकी
हम्म,
औरतें क्या करें बिकॉज यू कांट डू एनीथिंग
No, उसका जो इंटरव्यू था that a girl was taking her interview. She was young and he was saying
उसको
stuff in front of her and she was just making faces and she was laughing and she was like, "Sir, आप तो ये, sir, आप तो ये." I was like, ये क्या हो रहा है?
Because you don't have the authority to speak in front of such an influential person. I mean, I worked with Hum TV, right? तो अगर आप वहां पे जाके रूम में बैठते हो अपने एडिटर के साथ और आपको पता लग जाए कि खलीलुर रहमान इज कमिंग तो मतलब आपका माहौल बहुत डिफरेंट हो जाता है इट्स फ्रेंजी बिकॉज यू नो दैट somebody बिग इज कमिंग somebody who writes amazing dramas is coming आपको उसको अकोमोडेट करना है फिर आप नीचे स्क्रिप्ट रूम में जाओ स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ना शुरू करो कुछ बहुत अच्छी स्क्रिप्ट होती हैं जिनको एडिटर्स उठा के फेंक देते हैं क्यों वो कहते हैं भाई इसकी ऑडियंस नहीं है हमारे पास क्यों ऑडियंस नहीं है क्योंकि who wants to see a woman who is a doctor who is self sufficient who wants to do something for herself or who is standing up हमें एक ऐसा ड्रामा चाहिए जिसमें मसाला हो और बात ऐसी हो कि औरत रो रही हो और मर्द को कहीं ना कहीं से सुपीरियरिटी पे हम बिठा दिला के नॉट दैट इट्स बैड आप सुपीरियर बिठा दो उसे बट कहीं कहीं कंपेंसेट करने के लिए कुछ तो करो ना कि औरत को कहीं तो किसी जगह पे एक ऐसा चेहरा दो कि उसको देख के इंसान खुश हो कि यार नहीं यार हमारी औरत क्योंकि हमारे माशरे में हमारी औरतें कम काम नहीं कर रही हैं हमारा माशरे में हमारी औरतें हर तरह की पार्टिसिपेशन दे रही हैं पर जब हमारे मीडिया में ये पोर्ट्रेल नहीं होता ना तो फिर खलीलुर रहमान जैसे बंदे पे लिटरली फिर तप ही चढ़ती है
You are absolutely right, but then I think Habib or Hamza said it that the masses जो औरतें देखती हैं ना ये उनकी अपनी जिंदगी में मसले हैं. They are also struggling with a lot of abuses in their marriages or in their house or daily life में वो की struggle है, so they relate to these women जो कि रो रही होती हैं टीवी पे.
हाँ तो
उन्हें
उनको
लगता है ये
दिखाना
हमारी
है how to
story
get
है.
out of it, how to come out of
Yeah.
this dark hole. आप इस तरह
You
की
cannot
चीजों से
do
बाहर
that.
कैसे
Vinayal,
निकलोगे?
you know that. You cannot do that. These are, ये बहुत sensitive topics होते हैं. You cannot say two words and believe that the other person will get okay. It takes.
We've had dramas like धूप किनारे, man, like जहाँ
Dhoop
पे एक
Kinare
औरत
was an amazing drama. Okay, that was
Yes.
nothing can compare. With
हाँ,
Dhoop
उसकी तो
Kinare.
खैर वो तो खैर
उसकी तो वो
काफी पुराना
out
ड्रामा
of the world drama type. तो इतनी
है ना,
अच्छी,
तो
मतलब अल्फा ब्रावो चार्ली में शनाज जैसी कोई strong, आज तक शनाज जैसा character I have not seen. I have not even
Like-
seen it in
Right,
Bollywood की
right.
film.
Right, you're right.
जिसने
You're
इतनी
right.
डिग्निटी के साथ अपने ताया अबू को गुलशेर के लिए मनाया, इतने प्यार
Yeah.
से, इतने मजे से, मतलब इतनी रिस्पेक्ट के साथ और जो उसका लहजा था, जो उसकी क्लोथिंग थी, शी वाज सच अ स्ट्रांग वुमन. उसने फराज से शादी नहीं करनी थी, उसने एंड तक नहीं की शादी.
Mm-hmm. Right.
बट द प्रॉब्लम इज हाउ मेनी वुमेन कैन रिलेट टू दैट.
You can take an example
Yeah.
of Tanhaya, man. Like that woman, उसको stress था, उसको anxiety थी, पर उसने उसके parents की death हो गई. She got up on her feet, got out of an of a relationship, and then उसने अपना empire बनाया और उसने अपना घर खरीदा, and then she started living with the family.
I totally agree with you that these things can happen, but you need resources, you need family support, you need people to support you, you need everything. It cannot happen. And even if you're strong enough to go out alone, I totally believe that everybody is strong enough to go out alone and work everything and make their paths for themselves. But at the same time, I would say that you need resources, you need education.
Mm.
And a lot of people in Pakistan, especially women, they don't have education and they don't have good education.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, अब थोड़ा बदल रहा है, लेकिन अभी भी हमारा सिस्टम ऐसा ही है कि a girl usually needs a man in her life to kind of get around, get established, right?
Right.
या तो husband हो या तो father हो.
Right,
That's
exactly.
still how our society set up,
You
unfortunately.
know, I always wanted to do fine arts ना, because मेरा दिमाग पेंटिंग वाला था. मैं क्रिएटिव बंदा हूँ, मेरे से नहीं पढ़ाई शढ़ाई होती. But my father was like, you will do a degree that is practical. I don't care if you're good at it or bad at it, but even if you, God forbid, if bad times come on you, you should be able to stand on your own feet.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Good.
that totally helped me. Even though I'm not, it's not like I am financially weak or something that I'm working outside, I'm doing a job, but it gives me a sense of power. It gives me, मैं जा रही हूँ, बारी मेरी चीज है. It's my life. मेरी personal और private life दो अलग अलग चीजें. Private and social life are two different things. But that is something, वो तो मेरे अब्बा ने मुझे push किया ना. At end मेरे अब्बा ने मुझे push किया. But बहुत सारी लड़कियों के साथ ऐसा नहीं होता है. और I'm not talking about very true ना, क्योंकि अब
Very true.
if I would say, I would talk about कि जो जिनके इतने रिसोर्सेज नहीं होते या जो इतने फाइनेंशियली, उनका ये होता है बच्चियों की शादी कराओ, बच्चियों की शादी कराओ, बच्चियों की शादी कराओ. आई टोटली एग्री, शादी होना जरूरी है. शादी इज ऑल्सो अ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल फेज ऑफ लाइफ. एवरीबडी शुड एंजॉय इट. बट बिफोर दैट, बिफोर हैविंग अ शादी, बिफोर बिकमिंग अ वाइफ, बिफोर बिकमिंग अ डॉटर और मदर और सिस्टर वट एवर, हु आर यू? आप क्या हो? आप अकेले स्टैंड आउट. बट वट इज योर नेम? मैं मायरा हूँ. आई एम अलोन. वट एम आई? मैं हूँ, मैं कह सकती हूँ आई एम अ लॉट ऑफ स्टफ. आई हैव अचीव्ड अ लॉट ऑफ स्टफ, नॉट ऑल ऑफ इट, बट अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह वट एवर आई हैव इट इन माई हैंड एंड इट्स माई ओन. एंड इट इज गिवन टू मी बाय माई फादर.
Yeah. Right.
Mhm.
But like but my point is that media in every society is a source of education, right? So if a story like Myrah's story, where a father was an inspiration or was the backbone for a girl and asked her, "Nahi bete, you have to study because this is gonna help you in the future." So what if you have a story like that? But then आप रिलेट कराने के लिए फिर ये स्टोरी नहीं दिखाओगे, आप ये स्टोरी एजुकेट करने के लिए दिखाओगे. मेरा जो कहने का मतलब है वो सिर्फ इतना सा है कि अगर ड्रामे एजुकेट करने की तरफ चले जाएं, जैसे ये मेरे पास तुम हो, लाइक somebody said कि ये एक अच्छा ड्रामा भी बन सकता था जहाँ ये केस कस्टडी की तरफ चला जाता या कोई मर जाता या कोई कत्ल शतल हो जाता. इट कुड हैव बीन लाइक दैट थिंग टू. अगर ये
there's a drama जो कि बिल्कुल साथ साथ चल रहा है ना. आपने कहा रुसवाई चल रहा है, एंड रसवाई के साथ साथ अलिफ भी चल रहा है, बट दे आर नॉट गेटिंग एनी अटेंशन एट ऑल. मेरे पास तुमों के आगे कुछ भी नहीं चला है. इन द एंड इट्स द ऑडियंस हु हैज टू एक्सेप्ट. वो एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए तैयार नहीं है.
हाँ, वो जो मैंने शुरू में बात की थी कि हमारी आवाम जो है ना वो इन्हीं ड्रामों से खुश है. मतलब उनको अगर आप उनको थोड़ा डिफरेंट सा मटेरियल दे देंगे ना, वो उस चीज से वो कनेक्ट नहीं कर पाते. तो वो बात होती है ना कि व्हाट डज योर ऑडियंस वांट. what is your audience happy with? हमारा जो अवाम
Exactly.
है, हमारी जो
ये
अवाम है
हमारी
वही चीज़ों
अवाम
से
क्या, मैं अपने खानदान की बात कर सकती हूँ. इफ आई विल गो आउटसाइड, मेरी सारी अचीवमेंट्स एक साइड पे होंगी, बट द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन भी लाइक 4 साल नो बेबी, दिस
हाँ
क्वेश्चन इरिटेट्स मी. आई एम लाइक ये बंदे की अपनी चॉइस भी हो
yeah.
सकती है, बट देन
Yeah.
अगेन यू थिंक यही मेरी आइडेंटिटी है, नथिंग एल्स.
Yeah, yeah.
हाँ, I
सो
mean,
अलिफ चल रहा है. अलिफ इज सच अ नाइस ड्रामा. उसमें भी कितनी दो स्टोरीज चल रही हैं, 3 स्टोरीज चल रही हैं. रुसवाई सच अ नाइस ड्रामा. उसमें लड़की को दिखाया बेचारी घर से, हस्बैंड से कितनी अब्यूज हो रही है, बट आई थिंक शी विल, आई डोंट नो हाउ इट विल एंड, बट अभी जो मैंने उसका ट्रेलर देखा उसमें यह है कि शी विल stand up for her own rights and everything. I hope it ends well, but abhi tak to yahi hai, but it is getting no attention at all.
No, I think she got like an award for it right now, and a lot of people are going crazy after it.
Manahill, award se
That's
kya
it.
hota hai? People are not
No,
talking
like
about it. When you start talking about it on Instagram or on Facebook, then it's popular.
Yeah, Alif की बात कर रही हो कि रुसवाई की in this case?
Ruswai.
रुसवाई, yeah. नहीं, रुसवाई नहीं मैंने देखा अभी. Alif, I've started watching a few episodes. Yeah.
Alif is beautiful. Alif
अच्छा,
is beautiful.
हाँ, मैं एक दूसरा पॉइंट लेना चाहता था कि हमारे ड्रामे तो बहुत अच्छे बनते हैं, लेकिन हमारी जो फिल्म इंडस्ट्री है ना, वो याद है जब खुदा के लिए निकली थी बैक इन 2008?
Oh
Oh,
my
याद है?
that was a
Yes.
ray of hope.
That was a start of revival. Yeah.
That was like a revival of Pakistani cinema. That's what उसको डब किया गया था, revival of Pakistani cinema. लेकिन उससे अगले साल ना एक फैमिली बनी थी लॉलीवुड में, ठीक है ना? तो कौन सा रिवाइवल हुआ पाकिस्तानी सिनेमा का? वो मूवी खुद अच्छी थी, वो मूवी काफी अच्छी थी. अब 2-3 कुछ अब एयरवाई फिल्म्स बनाते रहते हैं, अब एयरवाई फिल्म्स मूवी बनाते रहते हैं, हम फिल्म्स बनाते हैं, लेकिन वो मूवीज जो है ना वो बॉलीवुड के लेवल पे जरा हिट नहीं होती.
The thing is,
तो
अगर
हमारे
हमारी सारी मूवीज जो है ना, the problem again I would say is the हमारी इंडस्ट्री is facing huge identity crisis. भाई आपका जो कल्चर है, जो आपकी चीजें हैं, why you not proud of it? Show that. आप क्यों वेस्टर्नाइज कर रहे हो हर चीज?
एग्जैक्टली. और ये चीज पता है कहाँ, जब मैंने वो मूवी देखी थी अभी, वार नहीं थी जिसमें मीशा शफी थी
Yeah.
और अली
Yep.
असमत वगैरह थे, वो
Yep.
आधे ज्यादा उसमें इंग्लिश बोल रहे हैं. ओ भाई,
हाँ,
इंग्लिश
हाँ,
क्यों
हाँ,
बोल रहे हैं? व्हाई आर यू स्पीकिंग
नहीं, I
इंग्लिश?
saw that Tifa in trouble. मैं रह रही हूँ ना जर्मनी में. I was like, यार ये कौन से शहर में जाके अंग्रेजी में बात कर रहा है? कोई बात नहीं करता है अंग्रेजी में.
हाँ एग्जैक्टली. वो जो आर्मी का वार में जो आर्मी का जनरल है वो भी अंग्रेजी में बात कर रहा है, वो जो मीटिंग रूम में बैठे हुए हैं वो भी सारी अंग्रेजी में बात हो रही है. अच्छा, मैं अगर आपने वो एपिसोड सुनी होगी मैं जिसमें सीवी हुमायूं जो मैंने हबीब ने की थी
बिल्कुल,
3-4 महीने पहले में, उसमें मैंने एक बात की थी, जो कॉम्प्लेक्स की बात की थी ना, जो आपने शुरू में भी बात
बिल्कुल.
की थी इसके बारे में, जो कॉम्प्लेक्स की बात आती है कि हम अंग्रेजों की हमारी जो हुकूमत थी वो अंग्रेजों में थे.
Yeah,
अंग्रेज
100 years
अंग्रेज
influence.
अंग्रेज हम हमारे पर हुकूमत करते थे. वो जो सुपीरियरिटी और इन्फीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स है ना, वो अभी तक से गया नहीं है, तो वो अभी तक से वही रहता है.
हमारी रूट्स के अंदर तक जा चुका है. जो मर्जी कर लो.
एग्जैक्टली. अगर आप इंग्लिश बोलेंगे तो फिर आपको बहुत, पाकिस्तान में भी अगर आप इंग्लिश बोलेंगे तो फिर आपको बहुत बड़ी चीज समझा जाएगा. अगर आप उर्दू बोलेंगे तो आपको पिंडो समझा जाएगा. It's just the way it is. I mean, ये मतलब
Like I right now I yearn for people who speak nice Urdu, जिनको अदब अदीब थोड़े इस तरह के लोग हो ना, मुझे मिल जाए. I would sit in their feet and say मुझे सिखाएं. I want to learn.
सही बात है.
But
बिल्कुल.
English being an international language, because it's very easy, I'm very thankful that I know that. But at the same time, I'm shameful that I don't know my own language that well.
हम्म.
I remember I once was talking to like comics by Arsalan. I was talking to him and I said you should really do so Parwaz Janoon release hone wali thi, and there was this trailer, and I asked him like you should do this a review for that, and he said Pakistani cinema घीसियां मार रहा है, let them be. And I think since that वो घीसियां ही मारता जा रहा है, उसके पास कोई काम नहीं
No,
है.
but
Because I remember
this movie came वो जो थी फहद मुस्तफ़ा और महविश हयात की, जिसमें उनकी बहन की शादी हुई थी, क्या जो that was on dowry.
Load Wedding.
लोड वेडिंग थी.
Load wedding?
Yes,
अच्छा.
it was
एक
Load Wedding.
दूसरी कौन सी थी जिसका उन्होंने मतलब जिसमें हुमायूं सईद भी होता है,
जवानी
वो अपने
फिर नहीं आनी.
जवानी फिर नहीं आनी.
जवानी फिर नहीं आनी.
is
Yeah.
that वो वही है?
That was like the Hangover.
Oh my god, it was
वाली.
so
नहीं, but
bad.
Load Wedding, if you have not seen it, ना, it's on YouTube. You should watch
मैंने नहीं
it.
देखी.
बहुत
अच्छा,
अच्छी
okay,
movie.
I'll
It's
have
such a light movie. हमारा culture is embedded in that movie. It's a very nice movie. If I would, because my mother-in-law is a converted Muslim, and she never watches stuff like that. So I censor जो चीजें होती हैं ना, मैं उन्हें send करती हूँ. So I recommended this movie to her. I said, this is a Pakistani culture. If you want to watch it, it's very nice.
Great.
No,
Very nice movie.
nice.
हाँ.
अच्छा, इस फिल्म को लेकर मैं काफी टाइम हो गया है, लेकिन what did you guys think about खुदा के लिए?
Very nice.
It's very nice, right?
It was amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was a good attempt back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was मैं यही point पर कहना चाहता था कि खुदा के लिए came out in 2007.
Yeah,
Right.
and वो उस हिसाब से ठीक थी.
Now that same year, 2007, Shan ने एक और film भी की थी. Actually, he did like 5-6 movies that year. One year, पता नहीं किस तरह करता है. But anyway, in that same year, he did another movie which my uncle fell in love with. पंजाबी film थी वो.
Oh my
और उसका
God.
नाम था पोतरा शाहिदा.
क्या?
ठीक है, पोतरा शाहिदा.
पोतरा
पोतरा
शाहिद
शाहिदा.
Okay.
Yeah.
अच्छा एक और ड्रामा भी है अगर जो हम सब रिलेट कर सकते हैं उसका नाम है मैं शायद आपने लोगों ने देखा हो जैक्सन हाइट्स देखा हो?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, we gotta watch that. I think that's something that you can relate to, and all of us who have lived abroad from outside of
Lived in
Pakistan,
Europe.
they can
It's
definitely
amazing
relate to
drama.
that. It basically revolves around four people, and it just shows their lives. They're who come from Pakistan. It shows their lives about what the difficulties they go through living in the US and stuff like that. So good drama, good drama.
Anyway, the issue with Potra Shahida is what I don't know if you guys have seen any Punjabi movies like Purani Punjabi film Pakistan
Oh,
ki.
yeah.
There's a
Churiyan.
Mola Jat.
type,
There's a
right?
Mola Jat.
Yeah, Mola Jat.
चूड़ियां देखी थी मैंने एक दफा.
हाँ, Churiyan, exactly like Churiyan too. This was exactly the same type of movie और camera quality इतनी गंदी थी, like you could not see what was happening. And the story was so dumb too. Or acting, like Shan is such a good actor.
Shan
खुदा
is
के
so
लिए, he actually did really good.
actually-
nice.
it was his
I
best
think he's
acting.
educated. And why
But if
does
you
he
saw
do
his
this?
acting that same year, like उसी साल उसने एक और film की, and his acting was so like exaggerated and over the top. Because वो बंदूक हाथ में पकड़ के ना उसने वो style मारना होता है छाती खोल के. It was so weird. Or even up till 2007, we were making movies like that.
We still
और
are.
मसला
Right.
पंजाबी फिल्मों का नहीं है. I think I'm sure there's an audience for that because my uncle was in love with that.
Yeah, we still have an audience.
Huge audience.
लेकिन एक बात है यार एक बात है कि
हाँ.
हमने 2 ऑस्कर जीते हैं ये बात तो है
Really? नहीं कौन सी
वो शर्मीन ओबे
Sharmeen Obed Chinoy got it for, but that was
उसने डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज बनाई हैं
This is not a movie, that's a documentary. यार
लेकिन फिर भी
पाकिस्तान में
Oscar
आधे
तो-
लोगों ने तो
Oscar
देखी
तो
भी
है।
नहीं है वो documentaries. किसी को नहीं पता.
हाँ.
हाँ लेकिन फिर भी ऑस्कर तो जीता है
People actually shame her for like
Yeah.
even voicing whatever was happening. लोग कह रहे थे कि इसने पाकिस्तान का सिर्फ नेगेटिव इमेज पोर्ट्रे किया है तभी इसे ऑस्कर मिला है अच्छी बात पोर्ट्रे करती तो कौन सा ऑस्कर मिलना था
You know what?
Like-
we as a nation, we are very emotional. हम इतने इमोशनल हो जाते हैं हर चीज के बारे में. And we
जज्बाती
directly
बहुत
relate, बहुत we related directly to Islam.
हाँ
पता नहीं हमें क्या मसला है भाई. इस्लाम, पॉलिटिक्स एंड इस्लाम आर टू डिफरेंट थिंग्स ना. हर चीज को उससे रिलेट करके अभी सरमद खूसट का बेचारे का एक मूवी आने नहीं दे रहा कोई भी.
जिंदगी तमाशा
जिंदगी तमाशा उसने पूरी
Yeah.
पोस्ट लिखी है दैट आई एम इतने अरसे से मैं काम कर रहा हूँ.
and it's actually a very beautiful movie like
कोई
honestly
उसको
उसका
release
trailer
नहीं होने
बहुत
दे
अच्छा
रहा.
है.
Isn't that movie also about? It's like some Molvi issue or something.
No,
and-
no,
and
it's not gonna be-
one of my friends was telling me about it.
It's probably going to be about how one very religious person or scholar did something very wrong. Probably वो किसी बहुत ही controversial वीडियो में आया है. मेरे हिसाब से जो मैंने ट्रेलर देखा
अच्छा.
उसका उसमें वो किसी वीडियो में आया है और वो कोई उसमें ना वो डांस वांस हो रहा है तो वो वहां पे बैठा हुआ है और उसकी वजह से लोग जो हैं वो उसको कहेंगे कि पूरी जिंदगी तो तुमने बड़ा पोर्ट्रे किया है कि तुम बड़े रिलीजियस हो और इवेंचुअली यू आर लाइक सीन विद सच पीपल तो तुम लाइक उसको बहुत उसकी लान तान होती है बहुत ज्यादा तो इवेंचुअली वो होगा. मसला यहाँ पे ये है कि लोग कह रहे हैं कि दाढ़ी वाले को दिखाया है आपने और उसका एक डायलॉग है जो बहुत कंट्रोवर्शियल है जिसमें वो कहता है फिर लगाऊं नारा एंड आई थिंक दैट पीपल आर टेकिंग इट कि प्रॉब्ली वो ब्लास्फेमी की तरफ जा रहे हैं वहां से कंट्रोवर्सी टीटीएलपी व्हाटएवर सॉरी नॉट टीटीपी बट तहरीके लब्बैक जो है वो उन्होंने थोड़ा सा क्रिएट किया है थोड़ा सा इशू
तहरीक लब्बैक का वो जो लीडर है, he said over my dead body this movie will be released.
एक और वो भी तो थी एक मैं हूँ शायद अफरीदी वो भी निकली थी
nobody
मैंने
actually
बिल्कुल नहीं
watched
देखी.
it.
हाँ वो इतनी
Nobody
हिट नहीं हुई
watched
थी
it.
लेकिन
There was another nice movie if you have seen it, Bowl.
बॉल भी हाँ वो भी है शोएब मंसूर की
Ball,
हाँ
बहुत अच्छी.
Famous.
Shoaib Mansoor
Ball.
does amazing work.
Yeah.
I think that movie was like, it describes a life of a woman in Pakistan perfectly. Ending थोड़ी सी unrealistic थी, but this described everything very perfectly.
Yeah. I think Pakistani movies just have to decide कि like
किस side
a
पे
lot of
जाना
movies
है.
try to go the Bollywood direction. Yeah, the Bollywood direction. We will complete this conversation in our next episode, number 49, with Hamza, Myrah, and Manahill. Did you enjoy this episode and this discussion format? Share your feedback with us on Instagram or email. Find all the links on our website, popcorn.com. And of course, if you're enjoying Popcorn as a whole, remember to subscribe on whichever app you're using to tune in and leave a review as well. We will see you next time. Khuda Hafiz.